Chapter 2148. Brother Zsu. Tang Ao cupped his fists at Dragon Emperor Zsu. Then, Tang Ao said, "This teleportation portal is severely damaged. Even with my erase skills, I can only repair it once. Brother Zsu, would you like to arrange for the warriors of the 5 elements demonic territory to go to the black-yellow continent for an exchange?" "Ha ha ha. Brother Tang Ao, you must be joking. Now that the war in the 5 elements demonic territory has just ended, there are many things waiting to be done. There is no time to go to the black-yellow continent for an exchange. Brother Tang Ao, I'm quite reluctant to see you leave. I don't know when I can see you again. Let's go to the Beast King Palace for a drink." The reason why Dragon Emperor Zsu came over was to find out Tang Ao's intentions. Although Dragon Emperor Zsu and Tang Ao had a good personal relationship, as the Beast King of the Demon Clan, Dragon Emperor Zsu had to put the interests of the Demon Clan first. The black-yellow continent was rich, while the 5 elements demonic territory was barren. This was a well-known fact among the Demon Clans. If not for the fact that they did not know the strength of the warriors in the black-yellow continent, the 5 elements demonic territory would have attacked the black-yellow continent long ago. However, the war with the Demon Clan had just ended, and the black-yellow continent had an expert like Tang Ao. Therefore, even if Tang Ao could repair the teleportation portal between the 5 elements demonic territory and the black-yellow continent, the Demon Clan would not dare to go there easily. Dragon Emperor Zsu came to stop Tang Ao from repairing the teleportation portal. If he could not stop him, Dragon Emperor Zsu would destroy the teleportation portal after Tang Ao left. Now that Tang Ao said that he could only repair the teleportation portal and use it once, Dragon Emperor Zsu was very satisfied. Unless absolutely necessary, Dragon Emperor Zsu did not want to destroy the teleportation portal. Dragon Emperor Zsu was also aware of the situation in the true martial domain. With Tang Ao's martial talent and potential, entering the true martial domain was only a matter of time. If the warriors in the black-yellow continent were not strong enough, the black-yellow continent would become the backyard of the 5 elements demonic territory after Tang Ao left. "Brother Tang Ao, do you know about the realm of true force?" Dragon Emperor Zsu asked casually after drinking a cup of wine. "I've heard of it." Tang Ao sneered inwardly and immediately understood what the old dragon was thinking. Indeed, due to the existence of the black-yellow mountain range, the cultivation resources in the black-yellow continent were much richer than in the 5 elements demon territory. Moreover, there were many undiscovered mystic realms in the black-yellow continent, which were also wealth. Therefore, it was reasonable for the various clans in the 5 elements demonic territory to covet the black-yellow continent. I heard that a long time ago, the Nether Ruins was a space passageway that connected to a plane in the realm of true force. It's a shame that the Nether Ruins are now in ruins. Otherwise, I would really like to go to the realm of true force to take a look. Dragon Emperor Zsu did not mind Tang Ao's words and continued. "The black-yellow continent has a complete space channel that connects to the true martial world's Langya world. Brother Zsu, you can come with me to the black-yellow continent if you want to go there." This time, Tang Ao was completely spouting nonsense. So far, the space channel that Tang Ao knew that connected the black-yellow continent to the realm of true force was only the one in the Lake Hard Island of the 7 Kills sect. Moreover, there was a condition to open that space channel. One had to use the 7 Kills holy way to open it. Now that Tang Ao had cultivated the 7 Kills holy way to the 4th level, Tang Ao estimated that he should have no problem opening the teleportation portal of the Lake Hard Island. Chapter 2149. Today, I'll repair this teleportation array. I'll leave tomorrow morning. After breaking through to the astral reaching realm, Tang Ao didn't want to stay in the 5 elements demonic region either. There were still a lot of things waiting for Tang Ao to take care of in the black-yellow continent. After drinking a few more cups of wine with Dragon Emperor Zsu, Tang Ao left the Beast King Palace. After Tang Ao left the palace, a couple of demonic race experts also walked out from the back. You've heard Tang Ao's words just now. In the next 100 years, focus on developing your races. Don't think too much about the black-yellow continent. Go on your own. After returning to the Beast King City's central plaza, Tang Ao immediately condensed his soul remembrance and started to repair the array in the plaza. This teleportation array was a peak first-grade immortal-grade array. If Tang Ao was given a bit of time, Tang Ao would be able to arrange an identical array. However, this time, Tang Ao didn't need to arrange an identical array. Tang Ao only needed to repair this array so that it could be used once. The next morning, Tang Hua and Tang Yu arrived early. Tang Ao, who was sitting cross-legged on the side, also slowly opened his eyes. "Are you ready?" "Yes." Tang Yu and Tang Hua nodded. Tang Ao's current status in the Five Elements demonic region was extraordinary. Everyone knew how frightening Tang Ao's strength was. Since Tang Hua and Tang Yu wanted to leave with Tang Ao, although the two dragon clans were unwilling, they didn't dare to force them to stay. On a tall building, Shin Menghan watched Tang Ao and the other two walk onto the teleportation array. Shun Schwecker stood next to Shin Menghan, her beautiful eyes also looking at Tang Ao. "Sister Menghan, why don't you say goodbye to senior brother Tang Ao?" Shin Schwerer looked at Shin Menghan and asked confusedly. "It will only add to the sadness. Cultivate well, and we will meet again in the future." After Tang Yu and Tang Hua walked onto the teleportation array, Tang Ao waved his sleeves, and nearly 100,000 supreme grade spirit stones scattered in the array. Then Tang Ao threw out an array flag, and the array immediately shone brightly. Not long after, a white light wrapped around Tang Ao and the other two. Then, under everyone's gaze, the white light on Tang Ao and the other two disappeared from the teleportation array. After Tang Ao and the other two disappeared, Dragon Emperor Z, Su, and a few other experts of the Demon Clan appeared beside the teleportation portal. Crack! The teleportation portal that Tang Ao had repaired previously was broken. Waves of dizziness came. Tang Yu and Tang Hua revolved their spiritual power to resist. Compared to Tang Hua and Tang Yu, Tang Hua was in a much better state. Tang Ao, on the other hand, was in a much better state. Soon, Tang Ao saw a ball of white light floating at the entrance of the passageway in front of him. Then, Tang Ao sensed the familiar aura of the black-yellow continent. Needless to say, they had arrived at the black-yellow continent. Swoosh! The three of them appeared in the sky above a mountain and were thrown out by the huge repulsive force of the teleportation array. The three of them swayed and landed on top of a small hill. "Big brother, I didn't expect to arrive at the black-yellow continent so soon." After stabilizing himself, Tang Yu exclaimed. Chapter 2150. The reason why Tang Ao said that was because Tang Ao thought that if a large number of demons from the Five Elements demonic territory were to teleport over through the teleportation array, they could instantly cover every region of the black-yellow continent. It could be seen that the Five Elements demonic territory had been eyeing the black-yellow continent for a long time. Even so, Tang Ao had no intention of destroying the teleportation array between the Five Elements demonic territory and the black-yellow continent. The competition between the two continents could also promote the development of the two continents' martial arts civilizations. "Brother Tang Ao, what is this place?" Compared to Tang Yu, Tang Hua had once followed Tang Ao to train in the black-yellow continent for a period of time. However, at that time, Tang Ao's cultivation was low. Clearly, Tang Ao had never been to this place. Therefore, after arriving here, Tang Hua did not know where she was. Tang Ao did not return immediately. Instead, he swept out with his powerful psyche. Immediately, Tang Ao said, "I did not expect that we would actually come to the Northern Forest Ocean." Be it in his previous life or this life, the Northern Forest Ocean was a place that Tang Ao had rarely set foot in. In the Northern Forest Ocean, cultivation resources were scarce. The surrounding heaven and earth spiritual energy was also very thin. Regardless of whether it was human race warriors or demonic beasts, they rarely appeared in this place. However, This was indeed a paradise for some ordinary people. As this place was not suitable for cultivation, there were no powerful demonic beasts. Similarly, few warriors came here. Therefore, it was relatively safe for ordinary people to live in this area. Let's go. Let's return to the Seven Kills sect now. There was nothing special in the Northern Forest Ocean. Tang Ao was prepared to return to the Seven Kills sect first to see what the current situation was. Outside the Seven Kills sect, there were many warriors gathered. Almost all the warriors from the 7 major factions were here, surrounding the Seven Kills sect tightly. These people had gathered here for nearly a year. In this year, the warriors from the 7 major factions had taken turns to attack the Seven Kills sect's defense array every day. However, the Seven Kills sect remained indifferent. Similarly, the Seven Kills sect defense array was also very powerful. Under the attacks of the 7 major factions' warriors, the defense array did not show any damage. In fact, Xiahou Linyuan, the patriarch of House Xiahou, had personally attacked the formation. However, there was a crimson-robed man from the Seven Kills sect who was on par with him. Every time Xiahou Linyuan attacked the defense array, Patriarch Xue Pao would definitely interfere. When Xiahou Linyuan did not attack the family sect, Patriarch Xue Pao, family Xue Pao's ignored him. Originally, after Lei Guchu and Xiahou Jie perished, the 7 factions feared Tang Ao and did not dare to act against the Seven Kills sect. However, Xiahou Linyuan took out the crystal ball image of him chasing after Tang Ao and eventually forcing Tang Ao into the underwater whirlpool passage. This kind of crystal ball image could not be faked. If Xiahou Linyuan could produce this crystal ball image, it meant that Tang Ao had really been forced into the undersea spatial channel by Xiahou Linyuan. There weren't many people who didn't know how powerful this kind of underwater spatial channel was. Therefore, if nothing unexpected happened, Tang Ao had already fallen. Moreover, even if Tang Ao didn't die, with Xiahou Linyuan around, these people wouldn't be as afraid of Tang Ao as before. Chapter 2151. However, after Yin Fengxing mocked them, he did not have much hope and prepared to leave immediately. They had already been cursing outside the Seven Kills sect for a year. During this time, no matter how much they cursed, the Seven Kills sect did not make a single move. Right now, the Seven Kills sect and the 7 major forces had already reached an irreconcilable state. Therefore, the 7 major forces would definitely not let the Seven Kills sect have a chance to breathe. However, before Yin Fengxing could leave, a crack suddenly appeared on the Seven Kills sect's defensive great array. Yin Fengxing was overjoyed. He crushed the jade talisman in his hand and sent out a message. Then, he flew directly toward the crack. In this 1 year, everyone had become somewhat familiar with this great array of the Seven Kills sect. This great array was controlled by the current acting leader of the Seven Kills sect, Jiang Zhulu. Right now, Jiang Zhulu was merely a 9th level life and death realm warrior. Yin Fengxing was prepared to rush in and kill him. As long as Jiang Zhulu died, the great array would immediately lose control. Without this great array, the Seven Kills sect would be a piece of cake in front of the warriors of the 7 major forces. After receiving Yin Fengxing's message, Ouyang Changhe, Xiao Guangxing, Murongji, and the rest in the distance flashed and instantly appeared not far away from the great array. At this time, Yin Fengxing had also arrived at the entrance of the great array. However, before Yin Feng could enter the defensive array, a blood-red blade flew out from the defensive array. Facing this blood blade, Yin Fengxing was quite afraid. The owner of the blood blade, the blood knife ancestor, was a 2nd-level astral reaching realm warrior. Among the 7 major forces, besides Xiahou Linyuan, no one else was his opponent. Seeing the blood knife ancestor rush out, Yin Fengxing's figure shot back and soon reunited with Murongji and the rest. Seeing Yin Fengxing being forced back, everyone sighed inwardly. Being in a stalemate with the Seven Kills sect for a year was indeed a good opportunity. However, before anyone could say anything, 3 powerful auras flew out of the Seven Kills sect. The leader of the 3 was wearing a blood robe. Countless blood chi surging around his body. Of course, the blood demon ancestor would not believe the nonsense of Xiahou Linyuan and the rest. Tang Ao had left a soul mark on him. If Tang Ao died, he would die without a doubt. Now that he was fine here, it meant that Tang Ao was also fine. This time, the reason why they had taken the initiative to open the defensive formation was because another master from the 7-kill martial school had reached the astral reaching realm today. 3 months after Tang Ao had left, Jing Wushang had broken through to the astral reaching realm, and right after him, Kasahara Snow had also broken through to the astral reaching realm. At this moment, Jing Wushang and Kasahara Snow were standing next to the blood demon ancestor. Without Xiahou Linyuan, the 6 astral reaching experts of the 7 major forces could be said to be evenly matched with the 7-kill sect. When Yin Fengxing sensed Jing Wushang and Kasahara Yuki's aura, his expression changed. Although the number of astral-reaching martial artists on their side was double that of the opposing side, the blood demon ancestor would require 4 people to join hands in order to contend against him. As for Kasahara Snow and Jing Wushang, they would also require astral-reaching martial artists to hold them back. Call Xiahou Linyuan over. Dragon Transformation Pavilion Supreme Elder Ying Longzi saw this and immediately understood that the 7-kill sect was going to go all out. Even if the 7-kill sect had an abundant reserve of cultivation resources, as time passed, these resources would also be continuously consumed. Therefore, the 7-kill sect would certainly want to go all out while they still had strength left. Chapter 2152. No need. However, just as Ying Longzi's voice faded, a voice suddenly came from afar. Hearing this voice, Jing Wushang and Kasahara Yuki's spirits rose. Who else could it be if not Tang Ao? Yin Fengxing and the rest's expression changed. They raised their heads and saw 3 figures flying over. Feeling the spirit power ripples from the 3, Yin Fengxing had the intention to retreat. It was indeed Tang Ao. Besides Tang Ao was accompanied by 2 other martial artists. These 2 martial artists' auras were equally powerful. Let's go. Yin Fengxing made a prompt decision and called out to the others. However, at this moment, the blood demon ancestor's blood sea had already enveloped the entire space. This blood sea was extremely viscous. Although it couldn't hurt Yin Fengxing and the rest, it wouldn't be easy for them to leave. Realizing that they couldn't leave, Yin Fengxing and the rest immediately ordered all the martial artists of the 7 forces to attack 7-kill sect together. When Jiang Zhulu saw Tang Ao appear, he immediately opened the defensive array, and the martial artists of 7-kill sect also rushed out. Under the pressure of the 7 major factions, the cultivation of everyone in the 7-kill sect rose rapidly. After a year, Jiang Zhulu and the rest had all become 9th-level life and death realm martial artists. Jing Wushang and Kasahara Yuki had even directly broken through to astral reaching realm. Kill! All of a sudden, battle cries shook the sky. Boundless spirit power exploded as thousands of martial artists instantly joined the battle. Tang Ao hadn't even approached the blood sea when he stopped in the distance. Tang Yu and Tang Hua also didn't have any intention of joining. After experiencing Yu Tong and Black Prison Dragon Emperor, these supreme elders of the 7 forces were simply too weak. Tang Ao directly took out the primordial sacred sky bow. Immediately, Thunder Python felt a killing intent lock onto him. Among the people here, Tang Ao hated this Thunder Python the most. After the Underworld Emperor's secret realm ended, if not for Thunder Python and the rest surrounding him, Tang Ao wouldn't have fallen into such a miserable state. If Shen Menghan hadn't saved him when he escaped to the ice and snow plain, Tang Ao wouldn't have been here today. The Thunder Python immediately sensed a sharp killing intent enveloping it. Before it could react, however, a profound heavenly arrow whistled forward. Upon seeing the profound heaven arrow, the lightning python desperately tried to dodge. However, the Thunder Python was horrified to discover that no matter how he tried to dodge, he couldn't avoid the profound heaven arrow. At this moment, The Thunder Python's heart was filled with regret. If it could do it all over again, Thunder Python would not let Tang Ao escape, no matter what price it had to pay. Bang! The profound heaven arrow blasted the Thunder Python into a bloody mist. It didn't even have a chance to reincarnate. Seeing how fierce Tang Ao was and how he had killed an astral reaching realm warrior with one arrow, Yin Fengxing and the rest were scared out of their wits and started to run for their lives. However, at this moment, Tang Ao shot out 3 arrows at the same time. Ing Longzi, Ouyang Changhe, and Murongji didn't even have a chance to resist before they were killed on the spot. At this moment, Yin Fengxing and Xiao Quangxing finally broke free from the blood demon ancestor's blood sea. The two didn't dare to hesitate and fled in different directions, one north and one south. Tang Ao immediately drew his bow and shot an arrow at Xiao Quangxing's back. One arrow shot out like 10,000 galloping horses, like a comet attacking the moon. The powerful killing intent instantly enveloped Xiao Quangxing. At this moment, he didn't want to resist and only wanted to beg for mercy. Chapter 2153. Tang Ao was very familiar with this black figure, and so were the people from the Seven Kill sect. Supreme Elder Fengya from the Seven Kill sect had said before his death that as long as either Tang Ao or Dongswini was alive, the Seven Kill sect would not be destroyed. 1 year ago, Tang Ao had returned, and now Dongswini had returned as well. Right now, Dongswini's aura had already reached the 2nd level of astral reaching realm. After Yin Fengxing escaped, he did not even have time to celebrate before he saw the black figure not far away. Seeing this person, Yin Fengxing was shocked. Although Yin Fengxing had never seen Dongswini before, he could sense an intense threat from him. This feeling was something that Yin Fengxing had only felt from Xiaohou Linyuan and Tang Ao. Yin Fengxing really couldn't figure out where this young man came from to actually be so powerful to such an extent. Who are you? Why are you blocking my way? Yin Fengxing did not want to fight with the black-robed youth in front of him. Regardless of the strength of the black-robed youth, Yin Fengxing knew that if he delayed here, Tang Ao would catch up to him and he would immediately die. 7 Kill sect Dongswini. After saying this, Dongswini did not waste any more time. He threw out a punch, and 36 mysterious night beads appeared around his arm. With the support of the mysterious night beads, Dongswini's punch caused countless spiderweb-like cracks to appear in the space around him. Yin Fengxing was scared out of his wits as he hurriedly took out a huge cauldron. Countless cauldron shadows covered Yin Fengxing. But this first great immortal cauldron did not give Yin Fengxing much sense of security. Indeed, under Dongswini's punch, Yin Fengxing's cauldron shattered instantly. After the cauldron shattered, Dongswini's punch directly blasted Yin Fengxing into pieces. Before his death, Yin Fengxing's mind was filled with questions. Why did the 7 Kill sect have so many geniuses, while his Heavenly Star Sacred sect only had one Qin Yue Shuang, and no one else had reached the astral reaching realm? Senior brother Dongswini. After Dongswini killed Yin Fengxing with a single punch, Kasahara Yuki and the others from the 7 Kills sect cried out in surprise. Dongxian Ye's figure flashed when he heard their voices, and then he appeared in the sky above 7 Kills sect. All of the astral reaching realm warriors from the top 7 forces had fallen, and the disciples of the 7 Kill martial school had an extremely high morale. The warriors from the top 7 forces had been pushed back again and again. Dongxian Yi approached and glanced at Tang Ao. Soon after, he smiled faintly and said, "You're really lucky. You're still alive, even after all that." "Ha ha ha. If you had not risked your life to save me, I might have already died." Tang Ao would not thank Dongxian Yi. That was because to the two of them, it was completely unnecessary. Kill all the people below. Compared to Tang Ao, Dongxian Yi was even more decisive in killing. As he spoke, the 36 profound night beads transformed into 10,000 black needles. This was the 5th level of Dongswini's 7 Slaughter Saint Dao, the myriad black needles. In an instant, the battle that had been filled with wails and wails instantly became deathly silent. As long as it was a warrior from the top 7 forces, no matter if they were running or fighting with the disciples of the 7-kill martial school, all of them would be killed. After the black needles pierced into their bodies, they would instantly turn into a black mist and disappear from the world. Right then, besides a few warriors from the top 7 forces who had not joined the battle yet, the rest of the warriors who had gathered outside the 7-kill martial school for a year had all been killed. Chapter 2154. None of the disciples of the 7-kill martial school had expected that apart from their leader, they would have such a powerful martial uncle. There is still one place that has not been taken care of. Hearing Jiang Zhuliu's words, Tang Ao shook his head. Right now, only 6 astral-reaching realm warriors of the 7 forces had died, and Xiahou Linyuan of the Xiahou family was still at large. Before, Xiahou Linyuan had suppressed Tang Ao with his 2nd-level astral-reaching realm cultivation base. Meanwhile, many members of the Tang family, including Uncle Fu, who had watched Tang Ao grow up, had also died in the hands of the Xiahou family warriors. Therefore, it was time for Tang Ao to go to the Xiahou family to settle the score. Senior brother Tang Ao, are you talking about the Xiahou family? Jiang Zhulu immediately understood what Tang Ao meant. Indeed, once Xiahou Linyuan of the Xiahou family is dead, this matter will come to an end. Tang Ao nodded and said with an extremely calm tone, in that case, what are we waiting for? After Dongxian Yi returned to the Black-Yellow continent, he had immediately heard about the news of the 7 forces attacking the 7-kill martial school twice. Now that there was only the Xiahou family left, he naturally had to take care of it as well. No, this time I will go alone. Tang Ao, you two stay in the 7-kill martial school as well. I will be back soon. As soon as Tang Ao finished speaking, the gale thunder nether cloud beneath him was instantly summoned. A thunderous roar resounded across the sky, and Tang Ao's figure instantly disappeared without a trace. Tang Ao and Xiahou Linyuan had been enemies for a long time. Ever since Tang Ao joined the 7-kill martial school, Xiahou Linyuan had ordered Xiao Gudao to cause trouble for Tang Ao. Now, the 7-kill sect and House Xiahou were at each other's throats. Last time, when Tang Ao was being chased by Xiahou Linyuan, if not for the fact that he had encountered the space crack leading to the 5 elements demon domain and the chaotic 6 light mirror, Tang Ao would have most likely died at the hands of Xiahou Linyuan. The nether cloud of wind, thunder, and nether cloud drew a purple mark in the sky. Soon, Tang Ao arrived at the Xiahou family of the remote antiquity, which had stood towering in the Black-Yellow continent for 10,000 years. Tang Ao took out the primordial sacred sky bow when he saw the towering pillar in front of House Xiahou's mountain gate and the majestic words, House of the primordial Xiahou. With a jolt of spirit energy, Tang Ao suddenly drew the primordial sacred heavenly bow. Tang Ao's spiritual power instantly poured into the primordial sacred sky bow. A golden mysterious sky arrow instantly appeared on Tang Ao's primordial sacred sky bow. Buzz! As the space suddenly trembled, Tang Ao's mysterious sky arrow shot out. Boom! A horrifying explosion resounded throughout the Xiahou family. Immediately, the stone pillar in front of the Xiahou family's mountain gate was blown into smithereens by Tang Ao's arrow. Such a huge commotion naturally alerted all the martial artists of the Xiahou family. In an instant, countless experts of the Xiahou family swarmed out from all the halls of the Xiahou family and surrounded Tang Ao. Who are you? How dare you cause trouble in my Xiahou family? A shady old man with a goatee snorted coldly at Tang Ao after seeing Tang Ao. Which one of your eyes saw me cause trouble in the Xiahou family? Tang Ao said in a mocking tone. Yeah. Tang Ao's words made the black-robed, middle-aged man freeze. He then asked, if that's the case, why did you destroy the sky pillar of the Xiahou family? Xiahou Lu was Xiahou Ba's younger brother. After Xiahou Ba's death, Xiahou Lu happened to break through to the 1st level of astral reaching realm. Therefore, Xiahou Lu became the great elder of the Xiahou family. Chapter 2155. Of course, I am not here to cause trouble, because I am here to destroy the Xiaohou family. As Tang Ao finished speaking, he took out the heavenly bow again. Xiahou Lu panicked when he saw the primordial sacred heaven bow. Tang Ao, you are Tang Ao. His brother had died in Tang Ao's heavenly bow. Therefore, even if Xiahou Lu did not recognize Tang Ao right away, he immediately recognized Tang Ao's heavenly bow. If you answer correctly, I will reward you with an arrow. As Tang Ao finished speaking, he released his hand, and a mysterious sky arrow shot toward Xiahou Lu. Xiahou Lu was scared out of his wits. He wanted to dodge, but he was shocked to find that his body could not move at all. No! Xiahou Lu screamed in despair, and then with a bang, he directly exploded into a cloud of blood mist under the mysterious heaven arrow. Headmaster, seeing Xiahou Lu, a first-level astral-reaching realm warrior, killed by Tang Ao in one move, the rest of the Xiahou family disciples immediately ran away in fear. Tang Ao's eyes narrowed as he picked up the heavenly bow and shot dozens of times. As clouds of blood mist exploded, all the life and death realm warriors of the Xiahou family and above were killed by Tang Ao. After killing them, Tang Ao did not stop pulling the bowstring. With a sonic boom, all the pavilions of the Xiahou family were turned into ruins by Tang Ao's hands. As the rocks flew everywhere, screams of the Xiahou family warriors could be heard. In the Xiahou family's ancestral ground, Xiahou Linyuan, who was in closed-door training, suddenly frowned, because the jade pendant hanging on Xiahou Linyuan's waist had suddenly shattered. The shattering of the jade pendant meant that the Xiahou family had been attacked. Xiahou Linyuan could not understand. Now that the 7-kill sect was being suppressed by the top 7 forces, who else would dare to come to the Xiahou family and make trouble? Xiahou Linyuan blurred into motion and appeared outside House Xiahou's ancestral grounds. Xiahou Linyuan's eyes nearly popped out of their sockets when he saw House Xiahou's magnificent halls reduced to rubble. Countless Xiahou disciples screamed and fled in all directions. Boom! Boom! Xiahou Linyuan watched as House Xiahou's cultivation hall crumbled to the ground. Before Xiahou Linyuan could see what was going on, the 3 profound heaven arrows shot toward Xiahou Linyuan. Impossible! After seeing the mysterious sky arrow, Xiahou Linyuan immediately understood who had come. The primordial sacred sky bow was in Tang Ao's hands, so the one using the mysterious sky arrow could only be Tang Ao. However, Xiahou Linyuan was certain that he'd forced Tang Ao into a spatial rift a year ago. He'd entered the same rift and would have been cut in half by the spatial blades if he hadn't retreated in time. Tang Ao's entire body had entered the spatial crack. His entire body must have been cut into pieces. How could Tang Ao still be standing there as if nothing had happened? But who else but Tang Ao could have the primordial sacred sky bow? Although he didn't understand what was going on, Xiahou Linyuan swung the demon devourer spear in his hand. A curtain of fire appeared and swallowed the 3 mysterious sky arrows. Chapter 2156. After the destruction of the 7-kill sect, the rest of the forces in the Black-Yellow continent would most likely be destroyed by Xiahou Linyuan as well. In the end, only the ancient Xiahou family would be left in the whole Black-Yellow continent. Xiahou Linyuan's plan was not bad, but unfortunately, he had miscalculated. Xiahou Linyuan would never have thought that not only did Tang Ao not die after escaping into the space crack, but he had also become a first-level astral-reaching realm warrior when he came back. After the 3 mysterious sky arrows were swallowed by the fire curtain, a green light flashed in Tang Ao's hand, and the green lotus sword soul appeared in Tang Ao's hand. He raised his sword, and a wave of lonely and desolate sword intent spread out. However, this sword intent did not reach Xiahou Linyuan. Xiahou Linyuan waved the demon-devouring spear in his hand, and a powerful spear light clashed with Tang Ao's sword intent. Boom! Suddenly, the spirit power exploded, and the horrifying chi wave turned all the buildings around the Xiahou family into ruins. Tang Ao's sword aura did not stop. An endless thunder light gathered around him. In Tang Ao's hand, the green lotus sword seemed to have turned into a ferocious thunder dragon at this moment. The thunder roared, and the sword in 10 attacked. Thunder strike. The thunder dragon in Tang Ao's hand roared and pounced toward Xiahou Linyuan. Xiahou Linyuan made a hand sign, and a ring burning with black flames flew out. The ring was incomparably sharp. With a buzzing sound, it directly cut Tang Ao's thunder dragon into pieces. Then it continued on its way towards Tang Ao without losing any momentum. Tang Ao took a step forward, and the sword aura in his hand bloomed again. As the momentum of the sword condensed, a soft cry of a phoenix was heard. Suddenly, tens of thousands of sword chi gathered together, and soon formed a phoenix made of countless sword chi. After the sword chi phoenix and the flaming ring collided, a series of shocking explosions rang out. All of a sudden, the sword chi and the fire raged. All the pavilions of the Xiahou family had been turned into ruins under the crazy battle between the two. Countless disciples of the Xiahou family had died. You're looking for death. Seeing this, Xiahou Linyuan was furious. A wisp of black flame flew out of Xiahou Linyuan's chest. The moment this wisp of flame appeared, the temperature of the whole space suddenly rose. After the flame appeared, Tang Ao immediately felt the netherworld flame in his sea of consciousness tremble slightly. It was a little excited, but more than that, it was a little fearful. This was the first time that Tang Ao had seen this emotion of a nether flame, and he was secretly cautious. At this moment, Xiahou Linyuan made a hand sign of the black flame, nether flame, and the black flame turned into a huge net covering Ao. Xiahou Tang Ao. Under this fire net, Tang Ao and black flame sword, Tang Ao instantly dodged, but at this moment, Tang Ao seemed to have fallen into a swamp, and he couldn't move at all. Tang Ao's spiritual power erupted, and he forcibly broke free from the fire net. Immediately, Tang Ao summoned the Gale Thunder Nether Cloud. But even the Gale Thunder Nether Cloud was like a boat sailing against the current, and it moved like a snail under the fire net. So powerful, Tang Ao exclaimed inwardly. The Xiahou family of the primordial era had a long history, and Xiahou Linyuan was known as the #1 genius of the Black-Yellow Continent. Today's battle was indeed worthy of his reputation. Chapter 21:57. The surrounding space crackled from the scorching heat. Tang Ao evaded Xiahou Linyuan's fiery net with the help of the Chaos Hexagram Mirror and dodged to the side in a flash. Xiahou Linyuan's eyes were filled with disbelief when he saw Tang Ao evade his fiery net. However, Xiahou Linyuan quickly realized that Tang Ao must have some sort of spatial teleportation technique or treasure. When his fiery net had enveloped him, Tang Ao hadn't escaped. Instead, he had left the space. Otherwise, under his fire net, Tang Ao would have no chance of surviving. Although the fiery net was powerful, it took a long time to activate. Given Tang Ao's eyesight, it might have worked the first time, but it would be impossible for him to use the fiery net against Tang Ao a second time. Xiahou Linyuan suddenly recalled that Tang Ao had come out unscathed when he had entered the spatial rift. Xiahou Linyuan had been in disbelief before, but Xiahou Linyuan now understood. Xiahou Linyuan had heard that there was a spatial treasure that resembled a storage ring in this world. However, it was a spatial treasure that could allow a person to escape into it. If Xiahou Linyuan's guess was correct, Tang Ao must have such a treasure on him. Xiahou Linyuan's eyes burned with eagerness. A hint of greed flashed in Xiahou Linyuan's eyes. Even an ordinary first-grade immortal weapon would be damaged by the fiery net's terrifying heat. However, Tang Ao's spatial treasure remained unscathed. This meant that Tang Ao's spatial treasure must be very powerful. Although House Xiahou was in a mess, Xiahou Linyuan didn't care. As long as House Xiahou's disciples were still around, the house would recover in a few days. What Xiahou Linyuan cared about now was the treasure on Tang Ao. It wasn't just this spatial treasure. Whether it was the primordial sacred sky bow or the demon-slaying axe, Tang Ao had too many good items on him. Boom! Xiahou Linyuan once again blasted out with his spear, and a 1,000-feet-long flaming wave instantly rushed towards Tang Ao. The flame wave had a terrifying temperature. Anything touched by the flame wave would instantly turn into ashes. The shocking battle between Tang Ao and Xiahou Linyuan instantly attracted countless experts. 2 hours ago, everyone had received the news that Tang Ao and Dongxian Yi had returned. At the same time, 6 astral-reaching realm warriors from the top 7 forces had been killed by Tang Ao and Dongxian Yi. At that time, everyone knew that the black-yellow continent was really going to change. Many quick-witted people hurried to House Xiahou as soon as possible. Tang Ao and House Xiahou had deep enmity. After breaking through to the astral-reaching realm, he would certainly make a move against them. One Tang Ao could turn the black-yellow continent upside down. Now, with the addition of Dongxian Yi, the 7-kill sect was truly going to rise. However, when everyone arrived, they didn't see Dongxian Yi. They only saw Tang Ao and Xiahou Linyuan fighting. The ripples from their battle made people's hearts palpitate. A huge flying ship flew over from the distance. The leader of the ship was a skinny young man wearing a black robe. Although he had disappeared from the black-yellow continent for a long time, upon seeing this young man, everyone cried out in surprise, Dongxian Yi. Indeed, this ship that had just arrived was filled with powerful warriors from the 7-kill martial school. First-level astral reaching realm Dongxuan Yi, second-level astral reaching realm blood demon ancestor, first-level astral reaching realm Jing Wushang, and first-level astral reaching realm Kasiyama Snow. Chapter 2158. Green Lotus Valley and 7-kill sect were of the same lineage. Now that the two sects had united, their strength was extremely frightening. In the surroundings, many neutral experts were watching from the sidelines. The leader of Desolate Luo family, Luo Yishui, was among them. Seeing this scene, he let out a deep sigh. Previously, when the 7 major forces besieged 7-kill sect, he had pretended not to know. Although he had arranged for martial artists to go the second time, they were of no help at all. In the Black-Yellow Convention, when the martial artists of the 7 major forces attacked Tang Ao, he had hesitated and ultimately didn't make a move. Judging from the current situation, 7-kill sect had already become the #1 super force in the Black-Yellow continent. Even if the 7 major forces joined hands, they wouldn't be able to contend against 7-kill sect. Previously, some people had asserted that once 7-kill sect recovered, it would be the end of the 7 major forces. Right now, only Xiahou family was left out of the 7 major forces. Moreover, if all the experts of 7-kill sect attacked together, Xiahou Linyuan wouldn't even have a chance to escape. Song Sword Sect Supreme Elder Li Tianwen also let out a long sigh. Previously, during the battle between 7-kill sect and the 7 major forces, Li Tianwen didn't help 7-kill sect, nor did he join the 7 major forces. But now, seeing the 7 major forces being crushed by 7-kill sect, Li Tianwen couldn't help but sigh inwardly. If the astral-reaching experts of the 7 major forces hadn't been killed by Tang Ao, then Li Tianwen would have definitely come out to persuade Tang Ao. It should be known that the Black-Yellow continent wasn't the only plane in this world. There were places like the 5 Elements demonic realm around the continent that were eyeing the Black-Yellow continent covetously. Tang Ao killing so many astral-reaching experts at once had imperceptibly greatly weakened the defensive power of the Black-Yellow continent. However, the 7 major forces and 7-kill sect were like fire and water. Therefore, Li Tianwen reckoned that even if he came out, Tang Ao wouldn't let the 7 major forces go. Xiahou Linyuan was overjoyed when he saw the warriors coming in from all directions. But soon, Xiahou Linyuan's expression changed. He saw 6 astral-reaching experts from the 7-kill martial school, but not a single one of the old guys from the 7 major forces had come. Just as Xiahou Linyuan was feeling puzzled, a message was suddenly sent to Xiahou Linyuan's communication bead. After receiving this news, Xiahou Linyuan's expression changed slightly, and a trace of solemnity appeared in his eyes. Among the 7 forces, the astral-reaching realm warriors of the other 6 forces had all been killed by Tang Ao and Dong Xinyi of the 7-kill sect. Xiahou Linyuan thought to himself, if the rest of the people from 7-kill sect were to attack together with Tang Ao, he would definitely not be able to hold on. Xiahou Linyuan, don't worry. My 7-kill sect isn't as shameless as your 7 great factions. In today's battle, I'll be the only one from the 7-kill sect. Seeing that Xiahou Linyuan had the intention to retreat, Tang Ao sneered and said arrogantly. Sure enough, after hearing Tang Ao's words, Xiahou Linyuan's expression also stabilized. His attacks also suddenly sped up at this moment. Although the current situation was disadvantageous to Xiahou Linyuan, the surrounding spectators were inwardly startled. Although they were all astral-reaching realm warriors, Tang Ao and Xiahou Linyuan's strength had clearly far surpassed that of ordinary astral-reaching realm warriors. Chapter 21:59. 8 Desolate Sword Chi. The green lotus sword in Tang Ao's hand released a dazzling light. Then, tens of thousands of desolate and lonely sword chi directly attacked towards Xiahou Linyuan. Facing a powerful warrior like Xiahou Linyuan, Tang Ao did not dare to hold back at all. Boom! As Tang Ao's sword chi crushed over, Xiahou Linyuan waved a long spear in his hand. Xiahou Linyuan blasted out a curtain of flames that was more than 1,000 feet long. Because the atmosphere was too wide, a first-level astral-reaching realm warrior did not have time to dodge and was instantly burned into ashes by the black flame. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people quickly backed out. Even a first-level astral-reaching realm warrior would die without a whole body after being touched by this kind of flame. These warriors who had not even reached the astral-reaching realm would be looking for death if they stayed here. Boom! Boom! The spiritual power exploded in the air, and a violent spiritual power spread out in all directions. The whole space shook under the battle between the two. Then, everyone saw Xiahou Linyuan's hand gestures change quickly, and the long spear behind Xiahou Linyuan started to vibrate with a buzzing sound. Traces of black flame seeped out of Xiahou Linyuan's body and merged into the demon-devouring spear. In the end, Xiahou Linyuan directly spat out a blood essence, which was devoured by the demon-devouring spear. After devouring Xiahou Linyuan's blood essence, the demon-devouring spear's aura had also reached a horrifying state. However, Xiahou Linyuan did not stop. The spiritual power in his body was still pouring in crazily. Seeing this, the green lotus sword in Tang Ao's hand slowly disappeared. Then, a black shadow jumped out of Tang Ao's body. After this black shadow appeared, it grew with the wind. In the blink of an eye, it was already hundreds of meters long. Then, everyone was shocked to see that behind Tang Ao, nearly 800 life souls appeared like stars behind Tang Ao. This scene dumbfounded countless people. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, no one would have believed that a warrior could awaken so many life spirits. In the history of the Black-Yellow Continent, the person who had awakened the most life souls was the founder of the 7-Kills sect, Patriarch 7 Kills. However, Patriarch 7 Kills had only awakened 500 life souls. But at that moment, Tang Ao had awakened 800 life souls. After these life souls condensed behind Tang Ao, they trembled and transformed into hundreds of streams of light that entered the heaven-raising divine needle. With the augmentation of these life souls, the divine needle's aura instantly increased. Even the space around the sky-raising godly needle began to emit cracking sounds. Clearly, it was somewhat unable to withstand the power of the sky-raising godly needle. Go! Finally, Xiahou Linyuan's expression became serious. His eyes darkened as he pointed his finger. Then, the demon-devouring spear behind Xiahou Linyuan vibrated with a buzzing sound. With an invincible aura, it shot toward Tang Ao, as if it wanted to kill Tang Ao completely. The demon-devouring spear streaked across the space, and cracks appeared in the surrounding space under this horrifying heat. Break! Tang Ao also pushed the sky-raising godly needle. Then, with a series of cracking sounds, the sky-raising godly needle and Xiahou Linyuan's demon-devouring spear collided together. Crack! Crack! Boom! Boom! All of a sudden, spiritual power exploded, and the void trembled. At the center of the collision, the space instantly split open, and cracks spread out in all directions. Warriors who were below astral reaching realm were instantly injured by the powerful spiritual pressure. A few life and death realm warriors who were too weak were directly shaken into a cloud of blood mist, dying a violent death. Chapter 2160. The powerful repulsive force backfired, and Tang Ao spat out a mouthful of blood. However, Tang Ao didn't panic because Xiahou Linyuan's situation was even worse than his. It wasn't because his spiritual power was more condensed than Xiahou Linyuan's, but because Xiahou Linyuan's demon-devouring spear hadn't been completely refined. Xiahou Linyuan hadn't been able to unleash the demon-devouring spear's full power. There was only one restriction on the skyward godly needle. After Tang Ao awakened the corresponding 796 life souls, this restriction was easily refined by Tang Ao. After refining this restriction, Tang Ao could naturally use the skyward godly needle with all his strength. However, because he still lacked 4 life souls, Tang Ao hadn't fully unleashed the skyward godly needle's power. However, it was enough to deal with Xiahou Linyuan. At this moment, Xiahou Linyuan suddenly put away the demon-devouring spear. At the same time, Xiahou Linyuan's figure retreated and was about to escape. However, a sense of danger instantly enveloped Xiahou Linyuan. A golden bow and arrow appeared in Tang Ao's hand. The spiritual power in Tang Ao's body surged into the primordial sacred sky bow. The surrounding spiritual power also gathered on the primordial sacred sky bow. Then, Tang Ao released his hand and a mysterious sky arrow shot towards Xiahou Linyuan like a meteor. Xiahou Linyuan's soul almost left his body. He hurriedly stabbed the demon-devouring spear in front of him. However, the moment the demon-devouring spear collided with the mysterious sky arrow, the demon-devouring spear flashed and was forced back into Xiahou Linyuan's body. Then, the mysterious sky arrow was no longer obstructed and directly hit Xiahou Linyuan. Boom! A cloud of blood exploded from Xiahou Linyuan's body. The sky was filled with black flames that fell like raindrops. After falling to the ground, they still burned slowly. At this moment, Xiahou Linyuan had fallen. When they saw this scene, countless people sighed endlessly in their hearts. The enmity between the 7 Kills sect and the 7 great factions had finally come to an end today. Back then, the 7 major forces had besieged the 7 Kills sect twice, causing the 7 Kills sect to pay a considerable price. When the 7 forces besieged the 7 Kills sect for the 3rd time, they were completely annihilated by the 7 Kills sect's powerhouses. Without astral-reaching realm warriors and a huge number of life and death realm warriors, the 7 top forces were already on the decline. At a time like this, there was no need for the 7 Kills sect to make a move. The surrounding forces would also swallow up these forces. In midair, Tang Ao's figure flashed and returned to the 7 Kills sect's airship. Shortly after, Tang Ao sat down cross-legged on the ground, not saying a word. Dong Xinyi glanced at the surrounding people, then glanced at the Xiahou family below, and said, "Let's go." As soon as Dong Xinyi's voice faded, the 7 Kills sect's airship also returned to the 7 Kills sect, while Tang Ao spurted out a mouthful of blood. Although Tang Ao had killed Xiahou Linyuan in this battle, Tang Ao was not so calm either. Xiahou Linyuan's strength was not inferior to the Dark Eye and the Black Prison Dragon Emperor. The reason why Tang Ao could kill Xiahou Linyuan was only because Xiahou Linyuan did not have a space-piercing talisman. If Xiahou Linyuan had a space-piercing talisman, Xiahou Linyuan would have used it to escape, and Tang Ao would not have been able to stop Xiahou Linyuan either. However, the space-piercing talisman was a 6th grade immortal talisman, which was extremely rare in a low-level place like the Black-Yellow Continent. Chapter 2161. Yi Guhong walked out from a corner of House Xiahou, his heart pounding. He was trembling uncontrollably. He couldn't imagine that the 7 great factions, which had the upper hand, would be annihilated by the 7 Kills sect. And now, the strongest of the 7 great factions, Xiahou Linyuan, had been killed by Tang Ao. Fear filled Yi Guhong's heart. He knew that Tang Ao wouldn't take a small fry like him seriously, but he was still indignant. However, Yi Guhong was still filled with indignation. Why was the 7 Kills sect able to kill the 7 factions? Why was Tang Ao so strong? Yi Guhong blended in with the crowd like countless cultivators heading to House Xiahou in search of treasure. However, Yi Guhong didn't look for any treasures. Instead, he moved closer to a cluster of black flames. At this moment, the black flame released by Xiahou Linyuan before his death had basically been extinguished, but this black flame was still burning slowly. A crimson light slowly condensed in Yi Guhong's eyes. Soon, Yi Guhong was shocked to see that there was a storage ring and a remnant soul within the ball of flames. The soul fragment belonged to Xiahou Linyuan, but Xiahou Linyuan was so weak that he looked like he could collapse at any moment. Xiahou Linyuan's soul fragment's eyes flickered, as if it was looking for a suitable person to possess. Yi Guhong's heart thumped wildly when he saw this. He had no intention of letting Xiahou Linyuan possess him. What he wanted was Xiahou Linyuan's cultivation method and Xiahou Linyuan's demon devourer spear. In Yi Guhong's opinion, Tang Ao had killed Xiahou Linyuan because Xiahou Linyuan was too useless. Yi Guhong, on the other hand, was different. He was exceptionally talented and had obtained the blood spirit eyes by chance. Yi Guhong took out a Thundershock talisman and crept stealthily toward Xiahou Linyuan's soul fragment. But halfway through, Yi Guhong quietly changed his direction. At this moment, Xiahou Linyuan's eyes lit up. He saw a perfect body. This young man was very young, and his martial Dao talent was even more amazing. He was already at the first level of the life and death realm. More importantly, he was dressed in House Xiahou's uniform, a clear indication that he was an inner disciple. After glancing at the 3 words Yi Guhong on the jade token on his waist, Xiahou Linyuan didn't have time to think and immediately called out to Yi Guhong. "Inner disciple Yi Guhong, come here quickly. I'll give you an opportunity." Just as Yi Guhong was about to leave, a cold smile appeared on his face. It just wanted to take over his body. Although he knew Xiahou Linyuan's motive, Yi Guhong still looked around blankly after activating the Thundershock talisman. "The flame behind you," Xiahou Linyuan said anxiously after seeing Yi Guhong looking around. Now that his soul fragment was about to dissipate, if Yi Guhong didn't come, he would have to find someone else to possess. But after seeing Yi Guhong, there was no way Xiahou Linyuan would take over someone else's body. Yi Guhong's martial Dao talent was even greater than Xiahou Linyuan's. There was no way Xiahou Linyuan would give up on such a good body. Chapter 2162. Xiahou Linyuan was overjoyed. "Yi Guhong, come here. I don't have long to live, so I'll give you the demon-devouring spear and the demon-devouring tome. Your martial Dao talent is better than mine, so you'll definitely be able to revive House Xiahou in the future. Also, from now on, you'll be the patriarch of House Xiahou." Xiahou Linyuan continued to tempt Yi Guhong when he saw that Yi Guhong had fallen for his trap. As expected, Yi Guhong's eyes lit up when he heard Xiahou Linyuan's words. He walked toward Xiahou Linyuan without hesitation. Xiahou Linyuan sneered when Yi Guhong got close. "Yi Guhong, I thank you very much. Patriarch, what do you want?" Yi Guhong's eyes were filled with fear when he heard Xiahou Linyuan's eerie words. "Patriarch, didn't you want to give me the demon-devouring spear?" "Yes, I want to give you the demon-devouring spear." Xiahou Linyuan sneered. Xiahou Linyuan's remnant soul turned into a streak of black light and flew toward Yi Guhong. Yi Guhong wanted to escape, but he was suppressed by Xiahou Linyuan's powerful aura and couldn't move at all. However, just when Xiahou Linyuan thought that he was about to succeed, Xiahou Linyuan's remnant soul suddenly collided with a layer of lightning. Xiahou Linyuan let out a cry of pain. When he looked up, Xiahou Linyuan saw Yi Guhong looking at him mockingly. "You can see my remnant soul?" Xiahou Linyuan's soul was roaming with countless lightning bolts and was continuously collapsing. "Have a safe journey, Patriarch," Yi Guhong snorted. The thunderstorm talisman instantly exploded with a terrifying wave of lightning. Then, Xiahou Linyuan was instantly turned into ashes. At the same time, Yi Guhong used his spiritual energy to collect the black flames and the storage ring in the flames. Xiahou Linyuan didn't expect that he would be killed by a nobody like Yi Guhong instead of Tang Ao. On the 7 Kills Sect's airship, Tang Ao adjusted his breathing and sighed inwardly. He didn't know where the demon-devouring spear in Xiahou Linyuan's hand came from, but Tang Ao knew that the demon-devouring spear was absolutely extraordinary. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to confront his heaven-raising spirit needle head-on. Unfortunately, the demon-devouring spear was kept by Xiahou Linyuan at the last moment. After Xiahou Linyuan perished, the demon-devouring flame exploded. Xiahou Linyuan's storage ring was incinerated into nothingness. In this case, Tang Ao naturally had no way of obtaining anything. The storage ring had its own space. When the storage ring was destroyed, the space within the storage ring also shattered. Unless it was a peak astral reaching expert or a peak astral reaching expert proficient in the power of space, no one else will be able to take out the items in the storage ring under such circumstances. Unfortunately, Tang Ao wasn't a peak astral reaching expert, nor was he proficient in the power of space. Under such circumstances, Tang Ao could only sigh. But what Tang Ao didn't know was that when Xiahou Linyuan was hit by the mysterious heaven arrow, he played a trick and was not killed by the mysterious heaven arrow. Instead, when he was preparing to take over Xiahou Linyuan's body, Yi Guhong took advantage of him. The 7 Kills Sect's airship was extremely fast. When it returned to the sect, the disciples of the 7 Kills sect burst into cheers. Under Jiang Zhuliu's management, the number of disciples of the 7 Kills sect was increasing day by day. There were 10,000 inner disciples in the 7 Kills sect, and there were countless outer disciples and odd job disciples. Chapter 2163. Several days later, Tang Ao and the elders of the 7 Kills sect gathered in the 7 Kills sect's conference hall. After everyone sat down, Tang Ao spoke faintly. Now that the 7 major forces have been annihilated, our 7 Kills sect has finally passed the most dangerous period. Next, we will start recruiting disciples to strengthen the 7 Kills sect. Senior Brother Sect Leader is right. It's just that because of the battle between us and the 7 major forces, there are countless people rushing over every day, wanting to join the 7 Kills sect. Right now, the mountain entrance of the 7 Kills sect is overcrowded. I'm worried that there will be problems if this continues. The one who spoke was Jiang Zhuliu. When Tang Ao was not in the 7 Kills sect, Jiang Zhuliu was the acting sect master. Therefore, Jiang Zhuliu knew the situation of the 7 Kills sect better than Tang Ao. After hearing Jiang Zhuliu's words, Tang Ao nodded and said, "How about this? Spread the news that the 7 Kills sect will recruit disciples once a year. This time, it will be held in 3 days. In addition, regardless of talent or cultivation level, anyone who passes the test will have a chance to become a disciple of the 7 Kills sect." After pondering for a moment, Tang Ao continued, "Also build a few markets under the 7 Kills sect. The markets will allow all forces to operate freely. The 7 Kills sect only needs to maintain the order of the markets. In addition, the 7 Kills sect will be divided into 5 peaks: Refining Peak, Talisman Peak, Array Formation Peak, Alchemy Peak, and Martial Dao Peak. They will impart their respective techniques. Under Tang Ao's arrangements, The peak masters of the 5 peaks were soon elected. Jing Wushang was the peak master of the martial Dao peak. The disciples of the martial Dao peak mainly cultivated the martial Dao and formed the backbone of the 7 kills sect. Jiang Zhilu became the peak master of the array formation peak. The array formation peak mainly researched array formations and maintained the normal operation of the sect protection array. Kasahara Yuki became the peak master of alchemy peak. She had been focusing on alchemy for the past few years. Although she had yet to break through to become a grade 1 alchemy master, she was only a step away. The 3 brothers of the Fong family specialized in refining weapons. Therefore, the 3 of them became the peak masters of the refining peak. What troubled Tang Ao was that after the talisman peak was set up, Tang Ao awkwardly discovered that there was actually no one from the 7 kills sect who was proficient in talismans. Fortunately, perfected Zichan spoke at this moment. Martial nephew Tang Ao, why don't you let Yin Xin be the peak master of talisman peak? Yin Xin has some attainments in the Tao of talismans. Upon hearing this, Tang Ao immediately clapped his hands. Tang Ao had considered the various brothers of the 7 kills sect, but he had forgotten about the Green Lotus Valley that had just been incorporated into the 7 kills sect. Moreover, spiritual master Zichun was obviously modest, because Bai Yunxin's attainments and talismans were indeed extraordinary. In the end, the 5 peak masters were finalized, and perfected Zichun became the grand elder of the 7 kills sect. The discussion had also come to an end. As the news of the 7 kills sect recruiting disciples in 3 days spread out, the entire black-yellow continent was in an uproar. Countless itinerant martialists and ordinary people rushed to the 7 kills sect in a frenzy, hoping to become a disciple of the 7 kills sect. The disciples of the 7 kills sect also discovered some changes in the sect. One of the biggest changes was that the 7 kills sage Dao that everyone could cultivate in the 7 kills sect had been tightly sealed. Chapter 2164. Although the 7 kills sacred path was extremely powerful and was a technique that sect leader Tang Ao often used, everyone knew that it was impossible to cultivate the 7 kills sacred path. However, everyone also understood that it was impossible to cultivate the 7 kills sacred path without being taught by an elder or having heaven-defying martial talent. Among the disciples of the 7 kills sect, there were many who had cultivated the 7 kills sacred path before. However, only 2 people had cultivated the first level of the 7 kills sacred path. One of them was Chu Xian, the number 1 genius of the 7 kills sect's inner sect. He was seen as the second Dong Xuanya. However, compared to the taciturn Dong Xuanya, Chu Xian was much more humble and got along well with his fellow disciples. He wasn't like Dong Xuanya in the past, who was a complete loner. The other disciple who had cultivated the first level of the 7 kills sacred path was Wei Pohu. Compared to Chu Xian's humor, Wei Pohu was a little more honest. However, being able to cultivate the 7 kills sacred path was enough to show that his martial talent was extraordinary. Over the next 3 days, countless people came from all over the place and gathered at the foot of the 7 kills sect's mountain, hoping to join the 7 kills sect. Those who arrived first were asking each other about what the 7 kills sect's entrance test was about. However, there was a rumor circulating among the crowd that the 7 kills sect's entrance test was personally arranged by the current 7 kills sect leader, Tang Ao. Thus, until now, no one knew what the 7 kills sect's entrance test was about. Over the next few days, Tang Ao could be seen on the mountain paths of the 7 kills sect every day. Tang Ao waved the array flags in his hand, and a few array formations were formed in an instant. As the array flags in Tang Ao's hands continued to fall, the formations began to change. Finally, on the 3rd day, 10 brand new formations had appeared from the foot of the mountain to the peak of the 7 kills sect. I am the 7 kills sect leader Tang Ao. Those who wish to join my 7 kills sect only need to walk from the foot of the mountain to the peak and pass through the 10 formations I have set up to become an outer sect disciple of the 7 kills sect. In addition, As long as you can pass through the first formation but not the other 10, you can become a servant disciple of the Seven Kills sect. Let's begin. The first formation that Tang Ao set up was a first-grade, immortal-grade illusion formation. In this illusion formation, anyone below the astral-reaching realm would experience the same thing as the real thing. The purpose of this formation was to test the temperament of these disciples. Although the Seven Kills sect needed fresh blood, Tang Ao's words were still the same. It was better to have nothing than to have something substandard. Back then, Yi Guhong had already made Tang Ao very angry. If the Seven Kills sect were to nurture a few more disciples like Yi Guhong in the future, Tang Ao felt that he would be making things difficult for himself. As Tang Ao's voice fell, the people who had been waiting at the foot of the mountain for a long time swarmed into the array formation. However, many people went in quickly and came out even faster. Moreover, the people who came out were all flushed with shame. It was obvious that they had encountered something in the formation. These people actually didn't stay for even a moment and directly left the place with their tails between their legs. Chapter 2165. But at this moment, a bolt of lightning came from the top of the Seven Kills sect. Before the Heavenly Star Sacred Sect disciple could react, he was blasted into smithereens by the lightning. Tang Ao's face was a little gloomy when he saw this person. Although Tang Ao had expected that there would be rats stirring up trouble, Tang Ao didn't expect this guy to be so arrogant. After Tang Ao killed a Heavenly Star Sacred Sect core disciple, the rest of the people who were ejected didn't dare to say anything and left immediately. In fact, these people couldn't even pass the first round. Even if Tang Ao killed all of them, they wouldn't die in vain. After all, none of these people were good people. Most people were ejected from the array formation, but there were also a lot of people who quickly passed the first array formation and began to challenge the other array formations. However, the first array formation was easy, but the later array formations weren't so simple. After another 3 days, everyone in the array formation left. Some people successfully reached the top, but more people were eliminated in different array formations. Many people even made it to the 10th array formation, but they didn't pass it and were eliminated. However, these people didn't have any complaints when they saw the 100 people who reached the top. This was because the 10th array formation was a test of perseverance and toughness. If someone could do it, it meant that they were still lacking. At this moment, no one had any complaints. Instead, they were glad that they could become miscellaneous chores disciples as long as they passed the first array formation. However, what Tang Ao said next made many people overjoyed. The Seven Kills sect's disciple recruitment has ended. Those who are eliminated without passing the first array formation will not be allowed to step into the Seven Kills sect's territory for the rest of their lives. Anyone who violates this will be killed. In addition, those who successfully pass the first array formation will be promoted to Seven Kills sect's inner sect disciples. Those who pass the first 9 array formations will be promoted to outer sect disciples. As for those who pass the first array formation, if they are willing, they can stay and become Seven Kills sect's miscellaneous chores disciples. After saying that, Tang Ao added, miscellaneous chores disciples will also be arranged to cultivate. After cultivating for a period of time, as long as they can pass the assessment, they can still become outer sect disciples, inner sect disciples, or even true inheritors. This disciple is willing to join the Seven Kills sect as a miscellaneous affairs disciple. The moment Tang Ao said that, countless people spoke up. However, Tang Ao naturally didn't need to do the recruitment and registration of odd job disciples himself. This time, the Seven Kills sect recruited a total of 30,000 miscellaneous affairs disciples, 5,000 outer sect disciples, and 100 inner sect disciples. According to the rules of the Seven Kills sect, all disciples who joined the sect were outer disciples. But in truth, those who could pass through Tang Ao's 10 formations were definitely stronger than most of the Seven Kills sect's inner sect disciples in terms of character and martial talent. Tang Ao didn't pay much attention to the odd job disciples and outer sect disciples. Although these people had their own merits, they were still not outstanding enough. What Tang Ao was most concerned about was the 100 people who passed through the 10 formations and entered the 7 kills sect's intersect. In one of the halls, the 100 newly promoted intersect disciples were looking around with joy and nervousness. That was especially true of a young girl with bright eyes. At that moment, her heart was filled with worry. Chapter 2166. However, the young girl did not expect that the 7 kills sect's assessment seemed to have been prepared for her. She easily passed through the 10 arrays of the 7 kills sect. Although she was an outer sect disciple of the Dragon Transformation Pavilion, she had never done anything bad, nor had she done anything to damage the 7 kills sect. Hence, the young girl was a little apprehensive and did not know how Tang Ao would deal with her. Although Tang Ao had yet to show himself, Tang Ao had arrived a long time ago. Tang Ao was very satisfied as he looked at the 103 disciples below him. Even in Tang Ao's eyes, these people could be considered as 1 in 10,000 geniuses. This was especially so for the young girl who had rushed to the top of the mountain. Even Tang Ao had the intention to take her in as a disciple. Although the 7 kills sect valued character, it did not mean that they did not care about talent. In fact, the many elders of the 7 kills sect, including Tang Ao and Dong Xinyi, were all geniuses of the same generation, except for Jing Wushang. Compared to them, Jing Wushang's martial talent was slightly inferior. However, it was not to the point that it would make one's hair stand on end. Furthermore, how many people could compare to Jing Wushang's diligence in cultivation? In this world, how many people could be like Jing Wushang? After sighing slightly, Tang Ao waved his sleeves and appeared on the high platform in front of everyone out of thin air. Tang Ao's youth stunned the young men and women. No one had expected that Tang Ao, who was known as the #1 expert in the Black-Yellow continent, would be so young. Then, a few young men and women walked out from behind Tang Ao. When they saw Jing Wushang and the others wearing the robes of the elders, they were even more shocked. Clearly, they did not expect that not only would the 7 kills sect master be so young, but even the elders would be so young. When they saw Jiang Zhulu, Dong Xinyi, and Kasiyama Yuanxue, these young men and women were stunned. Clearly, they did not expect the elders of the 7 kills sect to be so handsome, beautiful, and enchanting. Tang Ao coughed dryly and introduced, "Our 7 kills sect is different from other sections. We are separated into 5 peaks. These 5 peaks were respectively weapon refining, alchemy, talisman, formation, and martial Dao. According to your own interests and specialties, you can become a disciple of the corresponding peak master. As for your previous identities, you don't have to worry about it at all. Now that you've passed the 7 kills sect test, you'll be disciples of the 7 kills sect from now on." At this point, Tang Ao changed the topic. The 7 kills sect places great emphasis on fraternization. Regardless of the reason, it is a great taboo to kill one another. I hope you all remember this. All right, now you can hand over your information to the peak lord of the mountain you want to go to. After saying that, Tang Ao looked at Han Yunyan, who was in the corner, and said to her, "Your talent is very good. Although the 7 kills sect has an alchemy peak, I wish to take you in as a legacy disciple. Are you willing?" When Han Yunyan heard that Tang Ao did not care about her previous identity, she was ecstatic. She did not expect that not only did Tang Ao not care about her previous identity, but he also wanted to take her in as a legacy disciple. Han Yunyan almost fainted from happiness. The few people who came with Han Yunyan were filled with envy and jealousy. One must know that Tang Ao was the #1 expert in the Black-Yellow continent, but Han Yunyan was so lucky that she could directly become a legacy disciple under Tang Ao. Chapter 2167. There were 2 reasons why Tang Ao accepted Han Yunyan as a legacy disciple. The first reason was that Han Yunyan had a pure wood spirit root, which was very suitable for learning alchemy. The other reason was that Han Yunyan also had a unique constitution like the hidden jade and stone. If it wasn't for Tang Ao, no one in the black-yellow continent would be able to recognize the hidden jade and stone at the early stages. Although there were more than 100 people in the hall, the speed of accepting disciples was not slow at all. Most of them entered the martial path peak without a doubt. These disciples entered the Seven Kills sect to pursue better cultivation of the martial Tao. The remaining 4 peaks, alchemy, equipment refinement, formation, and talisman, only accepted slightly more than 10 disciples each. Of course, these were all inner sect disciples, the future elites of the Seven Kills sect. As for the outer sect disciples and odd job disciples, they would also be arranged to the peaks. However, those matters would not be handled by the peak masters themselves. After all, there were too many outer sect disciples and odd job disciples. If they had to handle everything personally, the peak masters would not be able to cultivate anymore. Everyone was very satisfied with these disciples who could pass Tang Ao's test. However, at this moment, Tang Ao suddenly realized that there was a cold-looking young man behind the crowd who was indifferent. This young man left a deep impression on Tang Ao. After Han Yunyan reached the peak, this young man was only half a step slower than her. His martial Dao talent was also extraordinary. At this moment, this young man looked hesitant, as though he was considering which peak to join. However, just as the young man was hesitating, a figure suddenly appeared beside Li Chunyang. This figure materialized and happened to be Dongswini, who was dressed in black. When Dongswini saw Li Chunyang, he revealed a rare smile. "My name is Dongswini. As for my strength, I won't be weaker than that guy up there. How about you become my disciple?" Tang Ao looked at Dongswini in shock. It was naturally a good thing that Dongswini accepted a disciple, but why did he say that his strength wouldn't be weaker than his? Could it be that Dongswini wanted him to teach him a lesson today? However, Tang Ao did not have absolute confidence in teaching Dongswini a lesson. After all, Dongswini's mysterious night pearl was an extremely rare life soul. Furthermore, Dongswini had cultivated the 7 slaughter divine path to the 5th level. Dongswini's strength was still extremely terrifying. Disciple Li Chunyang greets master. Actually, in the beginning, Li Chunyang also wanted to acknowledge Tang Ao as his master, but Tang Ao didn't seem to have any intention of accepting him as a disciple, so Li Chunyang was considering whether or not to enter the martial Dao peak. But now that Dongswini was willing to accept him as a disciple, Li Chunyang was naturally overjoyed. After all, Dongshinya's reputation was not inferior to Tang Ao's. Very quickly, everyone left with their respective disciples. Tang Ao looked at Han Yunyan and called out to her before leaving the hall. Tang Ao directly brought Han Yunyan to an alchemy room. This alchemy room was originally for Tang Ao's own use, but now Tang Ao decided to let Han Yunyan use it from now on. Tang Ao took out a cave abode and placed it to the side. He said to Lan Yunyan, "You will live in this cave abode from now on. I will impart cultivation techniques to you." Pushing open the door to the alchemy room, Tang Ao walked to the side and sat down. Han Yunyan also came to Tang Ao's side. Chapter 2168. After Tang Ao finished speaking, he handed over the 3 jade slips. These 3 jade slips are called the Mysterious Heaven Method. If you cultivate the first jade slip, you will be able to break the second jade slip's restriction. The same goes for the third jade slip. The Mysterious Heaven Art is my cultivation technique. Because you have the hidden jade body in stone, cultivating it will be even faster. Han Yunyan was shocked by Tang Ao's words. The invisible jade and stone body was Han Yunyan's biggest secret. Han Yunyan didn't expect that the sect master in front of him would be so powerful. He could see through his invisible jade and stone body with just a glance. You don't need to be surprised because I also had the hidden jade body in stone before, but it can be awakened. After awakening, it can become the heaven-defying 9 Dragon Emperor jade body. Before you finish cultivating these 3 scrolls, you must not expose the fact that you have the hidden jade body in stone. After cultivating the 3 scrolls, Han Yunyun would at least reach the astral reaching realm level 9, or even higher. At that time, Han Yunyun would have the power to protect herself. After speaking, Tang Ao handed over a cauldron, a jade slip, and a mirror to Lan Yunyun. This is my gift to you. This jade slip contains my understanding of pill concocting, as well as 100,000 pill recipes. Study them well. This cauldron is a grade 3 immortal item, glaze cauldron. It's for you to concoct pills. As for this mirror, it's called the Sky Sea Mirror. It's a grade 4 immortal item for you to use for self-defense. In the coming days, when I have time, I will come back to teach you how to concoct pills. You just need to cultivate well in the 7-kill sect. After speaking, Tang Ao's figure flickered and disappeared. After Tang Ao left, Han Yunyun felt dizzy. Han Yunyun didn't expect that her master would be so generous. These 3 things included the mysterious heaven art. If any one of them were to be leaked, it would raise a bloody storm in the black-yellow continent. But now, Tang Ao had given it to her directly. At that moment, Han Yunyun secretly swore that she would cultivate well in the 7-kill sect and not disappoint Tang Ao's expectations of her. In truth, Tang Ao had already left the 7-kill sect. After breaking through to the first level of the astral reaching realm, Tang Ao realized that his cultivation speed in the black-yellow continent had become extremely slow. If he continued at this speed, he didn't know how many years it would take for him to reach the 9th level of the astral reaching realm. Moreover, even in the black-yellow continent, cultivating to the 9th level of the astral reaching realm was already the limit. Therefore, Tang Ao knew that it was time for him to leave the black-yellow continent. However, the 7-kill sect had just stabilized. Although nothing would happen in the black-yellow continent at this time, Tang Ao couldn't leave now as a sect master. This time, Tang Ao left the 7-kill sect to head to the other top sects to gather information. Tang Ao looked through the 7-kill sect's dossier and knew that the 7-kill sect had a spatial passageway that connected to the Langya world through the Lake Heart Island. However, Tang Ao also wanted to know whether there were other spatial passageways connecting the black-yellow continent, the ice-snow plains, and the 5 elements demonic realm. Facing Tang Ao's arrival, all the top sects were extremely vigilant. After all, Tang Ao had destroyed a top force like the Xiao family all by himself. The current Tang Ao was not someone that any sect in the black-yellow continent could block. Chapter 2169. Other than the Longsong Sword sect and the Luo family, I've already visited all the other top forces. Is there really no way to get to the Winter Plain? Tang Ao thought to himself on the wind, thunder, dark cloud. Soon, Tang Ao arrived at the Luo family's residence. Tang Ao no longer had any complicated feelings towards the Luo family. Because this was Luo Tsai's home, Tang Ao should have been considered to have returned home. However, the Luo family's actions had disappointed Tang Ao greatly. Therefore, when Tang Ao looked at the Luo family, he could only see them as a friendly force. Who are you? As Tang Ao approached, the disciples of the Luo family looked at Tang Ao warily. The other disciple snorted coldly. This is the Luo family's residence. No matter who you are not allowed to fly. Otherwise, don't blame us for being rude. Hearing their words, Tang Ao snorted coldly. These 2 guys were too useless. They couldn't see through Tang Ao's cultivation, and yet they dared to show off in front of Tang Ao. However, Tang Ao couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with these 2 disciples. Tang Ao took a step forward, and the Luo family's defensive formation shattered. Then, under the horrified gazes of the 2 disciples, Tang Ao swaggered into the Luo family's residence. After Tang Ao destroyed the desolate ancient Luo family's defensive array, the experts of the Luo family quickly swarmed over from all directions. When they saw Tang Ao, they subconsciously sucked in a breath of cold air. Even the combined forces of the 7 forces weren't a match for Tang Ao. Now, Tang Ao had come to the Luo family. Was he trying to settle the score? Luo Yixue hurried over when he heard that Tang Ao had arrived. This old man is Luo Yixue, greets sect leader Tang Ao. May I know what brings sect leader Tang Ao here? At this moment, Luo Yixue was feeling vexed. However, he didn't dare to express it in front of Tang Ao. You're welcome, Elder Luo. I'm here to ask if there's a space tunnel connecting the 5 elements beast territory and the snow plain in the black-yellow continent. Tang Ao cupped his fists and asked. Both. What Tang Ao didn't expect was that Luo Yixue didn't even think about it, and answered affirmatively. Both? Tang Ao rejoiced in his heart. He had asked so many sects before, and he had learned a lot about the 5 elements demonic territory space passages. However, none of these space passages could be used. As for the space passage that connected to the winter plain, there was not a single one. Tang Ao was overjoyed when he heard Luo Yixue say that there was a spatial passageway connecting to the snowy plain. Before Tang Ao could continue to ask, Luo Yixue said, these 2 space passages are in the Luo family's forbidden area. If Sect Master Tang Ao wishes to go, I can bring Sect Master Tang Ao to have a look after I stabilize my granddaughter's injuries. Granddaughter? She's Tsai's younger sister, Zihan? Tang Ao knew that Luo Tsai had a younger sister named Luo Zihan. However, Tang Ao didn't expect that Luo Zihan would be injured now. Since Luo Zihan was injured, Tang Ao had to go and see her for Luo Tsai's sake. Elder Luo, do you know what happened to Zihan? Luo Yixue heaved a sigh of relief when he heard Tang Ao's question. Then he said, Zihan used a space escape talisman to escape back a few days ago. After she escaped, she fell into a coma. I don't know who injured her. Chapter 2170. It was a softly lit hut, and the fragrance of ambergris lingered around it. Luo Zihan's face was as pale as paper, and her breath was thin. Under Luo Zihan's bed was a mysterious array. 4 experts from the Luo family sat cross-legged on the 4 positions of the array. Tang Ao didn't expect Luo Zihan to be injured to this extent, requiring 4 life and death realm experts to form a life force array to keep her alive. Tang Ao stepped forward and scanned Luo Zihan's injuries with his sole remembrance. After seeing Luo Zihan's injuries clearly, Tang Ao was shocked. Amidst the shock, there was also some disbelief. This was because Luo Zihan was injured by Xiahou Linyuan's demonic devouring flame. However, what Tang Ao didn't understand was that if Luo Zihan encountered Xiahou Linyuan, she definitely wouldn't be able to escape even if she had a spatial escape talisman. Moreover, Xiahou Linyuan had already been killed by Tang Ao. How could Luo Zihan be injured by the demonic devouring flame? Could it be that there was a second person in the black-yellow continent besides Xiahou Linyuan who could use the demonic devouring flame? Tang Ao was sure that he was not mistaken. Although Tang Ao had only fought with Xiahou Linyuan twice, Tang Ao definitely remembered the aura of the demonic devouring flame. At this moment, Tang Ao was a little worried. Could Xiahou Linyuan have used some secret technique in a previous battle and escaped with his remnant soul? If that was the case, then it would be troublesome. Tang Ao didn't expect that his guess was completely correct this time. However, before Xiahou Linyuan could stir up any trouble, he was already defeated by Yi Guhong. Seeing Tang Ao and Luo Yixue come in, the 4 experts from the Luo family didn't move. At this moment, the 4 of them were controlling the life force array and didn't dare to be distracted. Otherwise, if there was a problem with the array, Luo Zihan's life would be in danger. After checking Luo Zihan's injuries, Tang Ao waved his hand and a pale green life soul that was like a star sprinkled on Luo Zihan's body. Luo Zihan's vitality that had been slowly fading just now was slowly recovering. Seeing this scene, the 4 elders of the Luo family were shocked. Luo Yixue's eyes revealed a look of disbelief. Although world life souls were endless and mysterious, even Tang Ao's life soul was unheard of it. Luo Zihan's injuries were too severe. Even the vitality array could only slow down the loss of vitality in Luo Zihan's body. However, the moment Tang Ao's life soul appeared, it began to replenish Luo Zihan's vitality. After using the life soul to protect Luo Zihan life soul, Tang Shun and said Luo Shun's he. Luo Zihan was burned by the devil-devouring flame. Many of his meridians were shattered, and his vitality was fading. Tang Ao was prepared to refine a batch of Grade 1 immortal pills, the Ice Spirit Pill, to heal Luo Zihan. Tang Ao was sure that if he hadn't taken the initiative to come to the Luo family, Luo Zihan would have lost his life. Although the life force array set up by the Luo family was controlled by 4 level 9 life and death realm warriors, it was like an empty shell. This could only delay the time of Luo Zihan's death. In the current black-yellow continent, there was only one Grade 1 alchemy master, Tang Ao. It could be said that apart from Tang Ao, no one else in the black-yellow continent could save Luo Zihan. Chapter 2171. Tang Ao waved his sleeves and stalks of immortal herbs entered the Shinnon cauldron. Under Tang Ao's control, these immortal herbs were quickly engulfed by the nether flame. Drops of crystal-clear, medicinal liquid essence were also extracted by the nether flame. Time passed by slowly. Not long after, a rich fragrance of elixirs filled the air. Everyone in the room had a change of expression when they smelled the fragrance of elixirs. Everyone looked at the Shinnon cauldron in shock. However, the Shinnon cauldron was blocked by layers of restrictions. No one could know what was going on inside. However, everyone knew that the elixirs that Tang Ao had refined must be extraordinary. This was because the richness of the elixir fragrance had far surpassed that of ordinary elixirs. Everyone even wondered if Tang Ao was refining an immortal elixir. Even in the black-yellow continent, immortal elixir masters were legendary existences. It had been tens of thousands of years since the last appearance of an immortal elixir master in the black-yellow continent. It was not hard to see how difficult it was to become an immortal elixir master. However, everyone became excited when they thought that Tang Ao might be an immortal elixir master. Luo Zihan's injuries were too serious this time. It was impossible for ordinary elixirs to heal him. Although the Luo family had collected many immortal elixirs, they did not have a rare elixir like the Ice Spirit elixir. After a short while, the Shinnon cauldron suddenly vibrated. Immediately, thunder rumbled above the Luo family. However, the thunder did not condense in the end and gradually dissipated. Tang Ao was not surprised by this situation at all. In the Shinnon Emperor's elixir refining jade slip, Tang Ao already knew that the birth of an immortal elixir would be accompanied by a thunder tribulation. However, in the black-yellow continent, there was naturally no thunder tribulation when an immortal elixir was born because the law of heaven and earth was incomplete. Although the sky thunder was triggered just now, the thunder tribulation had already dissipated before it could form. Although the elixir refined in this way was also an immortal elixir, it was still a few levels lower than a real immortal elixir. Tang Ao's hands quickly formed several pill techniques. Soon, the restriction on the Shinnon cauldron disappeared and a light blue pill flew out. Everyone's soul remembrance swept over it, and they immediately felt a cool and refreshing feeling. As if affected by the pill, Luo Zihan's face, which was as pale as a sheet of paper, regained some color. Sect Leader Tang Ao, what pill is this? At this moment, Luo Ishue's heart was pounding wildly. From the roaring thunder above the Luo clan, Luo Ishue could conclude that the pill Tang Ao concocted was definitely a type of immortal pill. Although Luo Ishue did not understand the situation of the black-yellow continent as well as Tang Ao, he still knew a little about it. Therefore, Luo Ishue knew that the reason the thunder tribulation did not descend earlier was not because the quality of the elixir refined by Tang Ao was too poor, but because the heaven and earth law of the black-yellow continent was broken. In fact, due to the fact that the law of heaven and earth was broken, it was extremely disadvantageous to cultivate in the black-yellow continent. Luo Yixue even learned that after cultivating to a certain level in the black-yellow continent, one would be shackled by the law of heaven and earth. This is the ice spirit pill. Tang Ao did not explain much. At this moment, Luo Zihan's injuries were extremely serious. Although she had stabilized her injuries with the Jade Bone Life Soul, the remaining power of the demonic devouring flame was still wreaking havoc in her body. If Tang Ao did not hurry up, the demonic devouring flame would burn Luo Zihan's internal organs into ashes. Chapter 2172. After Luo Yixue nodded, the four of them immediately removed the formation. After removing the formation, the four nine-stage life and death realm martial artists let out a long sigh of relief. They had been controlling the formation for 3 days straight, and they were both physically and mentally exhausted. Tang Ao fed the ice spirit pill to Luo Zihan. The pill melted in her mouth, and strands of ice-cold energy instantly flowed through her body. Tang Ao's spirit power surged out, guiding the pill's energy to circulate in Luo Zihan's body. Soon, the ice spirit pill's energy spread to Luo Zihan's limbs, bones, and meridians. After a few days, the demonic devouring flame in Luo Zihan's body was completely extinguished. After the demonic devouring flame's energy was extinguished, the Jade Bone Life Spirit quickly healed Luo Zihan's injuries. Immediately, everyone saw Luo Zihan's long eyelashes move, and then she slowly opened her eyes. After seeing Tang Ao, who was sitting beside him, Luo Zihan suddenly wanted to sit up straight. However, Tang Ao casually swept her with his spirit power and made her lie down again. Then Tang Ao said, "I am Tang Ao of the Seven Kills sect. If you want, you can call me." But before Tang Ao could finish, Luo Zihan immediately said, "Brother-in-law, I didn't expect you to come see me despite your busy schedule." After saying this, Luo Zihan seemed to think of something and immediately said, "Brother-in-law, let me tell you that Xiahou Linyuan didn't die at all. When he wanted to take over Yi Guhong's body, he was tricked by Yi Guhong." Tang Ao was slightly surprised. Naturally, Tang Ao didn't know anything about this. "How did you know?" Xiahou Linyuan was a huge threat to the Seven Kills sect. This was not a small matter. Moreover, Tang Ao didn't understand. No matter how heaven-defying Yi Guhong was, he was at most at the Spirit Sea realm. How could he have the ability to trick Xiahou Linyuan? After you left that day, countless martial artists rushed into the Xiahou family to steal their things. Then, I saw Yi Guhong walking toward a ball of black fire from afar. I used my spiritual eye and immediately saw Xiahou Linyuan's remnant soul. Then, Yi Guhong used some unknown method to make Xiahou Linyuan's remnant soul crash into the lightning net on his body. Luo Zihan told Tang Ao in detail what he saw. After Luo Zihan finished, Luo Zihan sighed inwardly. After the battle with Xiahou Linyuan, he was also quite injured. Otherwise, he would have been able to discover Xiahou Linyuan with his sky-polar eyes. At the same time, Tang Ao did not expect Yi Guhong's luck to be so heaven-defying. After seeing Yi Guhong obtain Xiahou Linyuan's things, I didn't act rashly and immediately returned to the Luo family. I didn't act rashly when I saw Yi Guhong get Xiahou Linyuan's things. I immediately returned to the Luo family. Then, when I was returning to the Luo family, Yi Guhong actually tried to kill me on the way. Luo Zihan was still a little scared. Then, do you know where Yi Guhong went? Although Tang Ao knew it was pointless to ask, Yi Guhong's existence was a thorn in Tang Ao's side. Right now, Tang Ao was feeling a little regretful. He should have killed this traitor back in the Seven Kills sect. Now that Yi Guhong had Xiahou Linyuan's inheritance, he only needed to find a place to hide. It wouldn't be easy for Tang Ao to find him. Chapter 2173. I met him at Black Cloud Mountain. I don't know where he is now. Luo Zihan had used a spatial escape talisman to escape, so she could only tell Tang Ao where she had last seen Yi Guhong. Tang Ao nodded. Your injuries are no longer a problem. Rest for a few days, and you will recover. This storage ring is for you. Tang Ao handed a storage ring to Luo Zihan. Luo Zihan was Luo Tsai's younger sister, so Tang Ao would naturally take care of her. Thank you, brother-in-law. Luo Zihan was pleasantly surprised after receiving Tang Ao's gift. In fact, Luo Zihan liked receiving gifts from others and often gave gifts to people she was familiar with. No matter what the gift was, Luo Zihan would be very happy. Tang Ao smiled at Luo Zihan and immediately looked at Luo Yishui. Elder Luo, I wonder if I can take a look at the 2 spatial passages you mentioned just now. Luo Yang brings sect master Tang Ao to the sky wall at the back of the mountain. Luo Yishui agreed without any hesitation when he heard Tang Ao's question. Luo Yishui had originally planned to personally bring Tang Ao there, but now that Luo Zihan had woken up, Luo Yishui was very happy. Luo Yishui was very happy. At the same time, Luo Yishui wanted to see if Luo Zihan had fully recovered. After all, after Luo Guxiao and Luo Tsai disappeared, Luo Zihan was the only direct descendant of the Luo family. How could Luo Yishui not be worried about Luo Zihan? As for whether Luo Yishui would personally bring him to see it, Tang Ao didn't care at all. What Tang Ao cared about was whether the 2 spatial passages of the Luo family could really be used. Soon, Tang Ao left Luo Zihan's room with Luo Yang and headed to the sky wall at the back of the mountain. After Tang Ao left, Luo Yishui looked at Luo Zihan and reprimanded her. You little girl, you're really mischievous. Luo Yishui wanted to say a few more harsh words, but he saw Luo Zihan's pitiful expression. Seeing Luo Zihan like this, Luo Yishui couldn't say the words that were on the tip of his tongue. He sighed and said, the situation in the Black-Yellow continent is very turbulent right now. Try not to go out during this period of time. I know. Seeing that Luo Yishui didn't continue to reprimand him, Luo Zihan immediately stuck out his tongue and revealed a proud expression, as if he had won the battle. Luo Yishui was helpless when he saw Luo Zihan's reaction. However, at this time, Luo Zihan also took out the storage ring given by Tang Ao out of curiosity. Seeing Luo Zihan take out the storage ring given by Tang Ao, not only Luo Zihan, but the other elders of the Fang clan also looked over. Clearly, everyone was curious as to what the current number 1 expert in the Xianwang continent would give Luo Zihan. The storage ring given to Luo Zihan by Tang Ao didn't have any restrictions, so Luo Zihan easily permeated her psyche into the storage ring. After seeing the contents of the storage ring, Luo Zihan's big eyes flashed with a trace of doubt. The storage ring given by Tang Ao had a very large space. Even though Luo Zihan was the second young mistress of the Luo family in the desolate region, she had never seen a storage ring with such a large space. Chapter 2174. Luo Yishui and the others in the room were also quite curious after seeing this scene. Luo Yishui even asked, "What is this thing?" However, no one in the room could answer Luo Yishui's question. Although the storage ring that Tang Ao gave Luo Zihan did not have any restrictions, this jade box that was half the height of a person had a very powerful restriction. Even with Luo Yishui's first-level astral reaching realm soul remembrance, he could not penetrate this soul remembrance. "Grandpa, can you help me take a look? Is there anything else in this ring?" Luo Zihan thought that perhaps because his cultivation was too low, there might be other things in this storage ring that Tang Ao had given him. Luo Yishui also took the storage ring from Luo Zihan's hand. Then he used his first-level astral reaching realm soul remembrance to scan the storage ring. However, he shook his head. Obviously, they were expecting too much. Although Luo Zihan was Luo Tsai's younger sister, Tang Ao did not have a good impression of the Luo family. Therefore, Tang Ao would not give anything good to Luo Zihan. However, the storage ring space was so huge that it stunned Luo Yishui. Not to mention Luo Zihan. Even Luo Yishui had never seen a storage ring with such a huge space. If he had not seen it with his own eyes, he would not have believed that there was such a storage ring in this world. It was not an exaggeration to say that if the desolate-era Luo family could move, this storage ring space could even contain the entire Luo family. Just based on this point, this storage ring was also a treasure. Compared to Luo Yishui and the other elders, Luo Zihan was not disappointed. This was because Luo Zihan would always be very happy no matter what gift he received. Under everyone's gaze, Luo Zihan slowly placed his palm on the jade box. The restriction on the jade box also made a cracking sound and shattered. Then, Luo Zihan slowly opened the jade scroll. After seeing the contents of the jade box, everyone in the room sucked in a breath of cold air. There were dozens of bottles of pills neatly arranged in the jade box. With a sweep of the soul remembrance, one could immediately tell that these pills were all top-level spirit pills. More than half of them were even immortal pills that surpassed spirit pills. Apart from the pills, there were also 10 jade scrolls. These 10 jade slips were all extremely rare or even extinct, powerful Dharma arts. Looking at these 10 jade slips, the hearts of the Luo clan's elders thumped, and their breathing quickened. Apart from these 10 jade slips, there were also 2 golden jade slips. When everyone scanned the 2 golden jade slips with their soul awareness, they were immediately shocked to find that these 2 golden jade slips actually recorded the astral reaching realm and the yin-yang realm's cultivation method. At this moment, everyone present was an elder of the Luo family, so they naturally knew that the realm above the astral reaching realm was the yin-yang realm. However, no one had expected that they would be able to see a yin-yang technique one day. Moreover, this set of cultivation technique was obviously a set. In other words, if there were no accidents, Luo Zihan could cultivate this set of cultivation technique all the way to the yin-yang realm. Chapter 2175. The Luo family's defense array was only a grade 6 spirit array. In the entire black-yellow continent, only the 7 kills sex defense array was a grade 1 immortal array. However, the 10 array scrolls here were all grade 1 immortal arrays. Apart from these scrolls, there were also many talismans. These talismans made the elders of the Luo family feel suffocated. All of them were grade 1 immortal talismans. It could be said that the items in this jade box were more precious than the treasures that the Luo family had collected for tens of thousands of years. There was not a single grade 1 immortal array scroll in the Luo family's treasure vault. Apart from these items, there was also a long and narrow jade box in the jade box. Luo Zihan looked at the stunned expressions of the elders and was unsure if she should open the jade box to take a look. However, Luo Yishui said in a trembling voice, "Open it and see what's inside." Luo Yishui forcibly suppressed his astonishment. After all, he was a person who had seen great things. However, he was still shocked to see so many top-notch supreme treasures. Luo Zihan slowly opened the jade box when she heard her grandfather's words. In fact, Luo Zihan was also a little numb. She had never imagined that Tang Ao would give her so many precious items. One must know that any one of these items could immediately cause bloodshed in the black-yellow continent. Heavenly Immortal Sword. Luo Yishui exclaimed when he saw the long and narrow sword in the jade box. Luo Yishui had only seen this heavenly immortal sword in the ancient books of the Luo family. He had never expected that the real heavenly immortal sword would appear in front of him today. The Luo family's supreme treasure, the Luo Shui sword, was a grade 3 immortal weapon. However, this heavenly immortal sword was a grade 7 immortal weapon. After Luo Yishui introduced the heavenly immortal sword, everyone in the room was speechless for a long time. They were clearly shocked by Tang Ao's generosity. However, Tang Ao was completely unaware of this. Right now, Tang Ao had followed Elder Luo to the back mountain of the Luo family. At the back mountain of the Luo family, Tang Ao saw waves of auroras descending from the sky. At the place where the aurora fell, there were two formations slowly operating. After seeing these two formations, Tang Ao's face immediately lit up. The reason for that was because those two spirit formations were completely undamaged and could be used. Tang Ao did not expect the Luo family to have hidden such two formations. Beside these two formations sat an old man with a head full of silver hair. The aura of this old man was very weak, but the moment Tang Ao saw the old man, he was greatly alarmed. This elder was actually a level 5 astral-reaching realm warrior. The cultivation of this mysterious elder from the Luo clan had far exceeded Tang Ao's imagination. In Tang Ao's opinion, if the Earth Emanations Pavilion Luo clan had such an expert, the 7 major factions would have been annihilated the moment this old man attacked the 7 Kills sect. If the Earth Emanations Pavilion Luo clan had such an expert, why did they not make a move? Instead, they fell out with the 7 Kills sect. Elder Shan, this is sect leader Tang Ao of the 7 Kills sect. After Luo Yang saw the old man, he respectfully bowed to the old man. Then, the old man briefly introduced Tang Ao. Chapter 2176. Tang Ao froze. He did not expect this elder to ask such a question. However, Tang Ao still said, "I am the 21st leader of the 7 Kill Martial School." The elder in front of him was indeed worthy of being Tang Ao's senior, because Tang Ao could clearly feel that even with his 2 lifetimes combined, he would not be able to compare with this elder in front of him. From his body, Tang Ao felt an unusual aura of vicissitudes. Tang Ao even felt some disbelief because it was very likely that the old man before him was even more ancient than Tang Ao. However, what Tang Ao could not understand was that if this elder was a powerful warrior from that era, how could he only have this little cultivation? After all, in his previous life, Tang Ao had also trained to the peak of astral reaching realm level 9. The 7 Kill Martial School has been passed down to the 21st generation. Huh? Have you heard of the 7th leader of the 7 Kill Martial School, Luo Shan? Luo Shan sighed and said calmly. Luo Shan's tone was very calm, but after hearing his words, Tang Ao was shocked. After training for so long, there are not many things that could shock Tang Ao. However, at this moment, Tang Ao still thought of something that was very shocking, which was that this elder in front of him was the 7th leader of the 7 Kill Martial School, Luo Shan. According to the records of the 7 Kill Martial School, the 7th leader had disappeared. However, Tang Ao now felt that this elder in front of him might really be Luo Shan. However, this news was just too shocking. Moreover, there was something that Tang Ao did not understand. According to the records, Luo Shan's cultivation was at the peak of astral reaching realm level 9. How come he was only at astral reaching realm level 5 now? After all these years, had Luo Shan's cultivation not improved, but regressed instead? No, if it were others, they might not be able to tell, but soon, Tang Ao saw that there were waves of strange vibrations coming from Luo Shan's body. This vibration was very familiar to Tang Ao. It was the vibration of a spell. However, what left Tang Ao in disbelief was that there was actually an array formation fluctuation coming from a person's body. Even a grade 1 immortal array master like Tang Ao had never heard of such a thing. However, after calming down and taking a closer look, Tang Ao sucked in a breath of cold air. This time, Tang Ao saw that this place did not only have 2 array formations, but 3. As for the 3rd formation, it was right under Luo Shan. But now, for some reason, this array formation had basically become one with Mount Luo. In other words, Luo Shan had become the spirit of the formation. Although there were many powerhouses in Luo Shan's era, Tang Ao didn't believe that anyone had the ability to trap Luo Shan here. Could it be that Senior took the initiative to fuse with the formation? After thinking for a while, Tang Ao came up with this unbelievable but reasonable explanation. Tang Ao believed that in Luo Shan's era, even if there were top powerhouses, they could not be that much stronger than Luo Shan. Then, the current situation of Luo Shan was very likely the result of Luo Shan willingly fusing with the formation. Hearing Tang Ao's words, a trace of surprise flashed through Luo Shan's eyes. He didn't expect the young man in front of him to have such sharp eyes and be able to tell the truth with just one sentence. Tang Ao was completely right. Luo Shan had indeed fused with the formation on his own. It was just that, apart from this method, Luo Shan had no other way to stop those people. Chapter 2177. By this time, Tang Ao had already carefully examined the arrays connecting the 5 elements demonic realm and the snow plane. The grades of these 2 arrays were beyond Tang Ao's imagination, because they were both grade 4 immortal arrays. Without even asking, Tang Ao knew that the array connecting the Zhongling realm was also a grade 4 immortal array, or even higher. Tang Ao was very confused. Could there be such a powerful array master in the black-yellow continent? However, Tang Ao quickly shook his head. Given the completeness of the laws of heaven and earth in the black-yellow continent, even the most monstrous array master couldn't become a grade 4 immortal array master on the black-yellow continent. Not to mention a grade 4 immortal array master, it was almost impossible to become a grade 1 immortal array master. The reason why Tang Ao could become a grade 1 immortal array master, apart from Yun Xiaoyao's array Dao inheritance, was because of the more complete laws of heaven and earth in the Flying Star Continent. Although there wasn't even spiritual qi in the Flying Star Continent, the laws of heaven and earth in the Flying Star Continent were more complete. It was also because of this that Tang Ao could become a grade 1 immortal array master on the Flying Star Continent. Back then, 2 experts from the Zhongling realm discovered the black-yellow continent by chance. Although they were yin-yang realm experts, they were suppressed by the laws of heaven and earth on the black-yellow continent and could only display the cultivation base of peak astral reaching realm level 9. After the 2 discovered that the black-yellow continent used to be the black-yellow world, they immediately set up a teleportation array to send the experts from the Zhongling realm to the black-yellow continent. Luo Shan said calmly, narrating the past to Tang Ao. Hearing Luo Shan's words, Tang Ao was extremely shocked. These 3 arrays were actually created by the array masters of the Zhongling realm. At the same time, Tang Ao also knew that because Luo Shan couldn't destroy these 3 arrays, he could only choose to become the array spirit of the arrays and control them. After Luo Shan controlled these 3 arrays, he also resolved the crisis that the Zhongling realm had faced the black-yellow continent. However, because he had fused with the arrays, Luo Shan couldn't leave this place. The upper echelons of the 7 Kills sect knew about this. In order not to cause panic, they only told the public that Mount Luo was missing. After understanding the old man's contribution to the black-yellow continent, Tang Ao was filled with respect and bowed at Luo Shan. "Senior, I'm here this time to bring an old friend to the Xianwang continent. I wonder if you can do me this favor?" After Luo Shan fused with the 3 formations, the 3 formations were all under Luo Shan's control. Therefore, without Mount Luo's permission, Tang Ao could not go to the snow plain through the formation. Luo Shan nodded. "This old man knows everything you've done. You didn't let down the 7 Kills sect's prestige. Although I can control this array, I can only control it for a limited amount of time. If you don't return within the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, you won't be able to use this array to return to this place. You better think it through. The time it takes to burn a stick of incense is enough." Tang Ao nodded. The purpose of this trip to the ice plain was to bring Chu Xuahan away. With Tang Ao's current speed, he could travel freely in the snow plain. As long as he knew where Chu Xuahan was, he could immediately return the way he came. Therefore, 1 jaw stick's worth of time was enough. Chapter 2178. Tang Ao was startled when he arrived at the ice and snow plain, because Tang Ao shockingly saw that there was not a single soul on the plain, as if the whole space had been frozen. This ice power was extremely horrifying. Even with Tang Ao's first-level astral reaching realm cultivation base, he could not handle it. Left with no choice, Tang Ao could only summon his netherworld fire. Only then did Tang Ao feel a bit more relaxed on the plain. However, as Tang Ao rode the wind thunder dark cloud and flew for a long time, Tang Ao's face was filled with shock. Because after riding the wind thunder dark cloud for so long, Tang Ao did not even see a single demonic beast, not to mention a human. It was as if the plain had turned into a quiet world of ice and snow. Tang Ao's face turned a bit ugly. How could he find Chu Shiwahan in this situation? After scanning around with his sky polar eyes and confirming that there was no one around, Tang Ao could only go back the way he came. Then, the space power condensed around Tang Ao with a flash of white light. When the scene in front of Tang Ao became clear again, Tang Ao had already arrived under the Luo family sky curtain. After Tang Ao came out, Luo Shan did not wait for Tang Ao to ask and said, "I don't know about the changes in the plane either. The last time I checked it was 3,000 years ago." Tang Ao did not think that Luo Shan would lie to him about this kind of thing. Obviously, Luo Shan did not know that such a big change had happened in the plane. At the same time, Tang Ao could understand. After all, even if Tang Ao himself became the formation spirit, Tang Ao would not be able to keep an eye on the situation of these three planes. Moreover, Tang Ao could tell that it was not easy for Luo Shan to activate the formation, not to mention checking in real time. Tang Ao's mood was somewhat down since he couldn't find Chu Shiwahan, but he still cupped his fists towards Luo Shan and said, "Senior Luo Shan, this junior's ability is limited and I can't help you escape. Once I become a grade 4 immortal array master, I'll definitely come back to help you escape." Luo Shan's eyes flashed with excitement when he heard Tang Ao's words. Over the years, Tang Ao wasn't the first person to say this, but in Tang Ao's eyes, Luo Shan saw something different. Luo Shan had a feeling that Tang Ao would definitely be able to become a grade 4 immortal array master and help him escape. Luo Shan had been trapped here for far too long. Over the years, he had been thinking about how to break free from the restraints of these three array formations. Unfortunately, Luo Shan himself did not have a strong talent in the array Dao, so he was still trapped by this array formation until now. Tang Ao left the primordial Luo clan with a gloomy expression after learning about what had happened on the ice plain. Luo Ishue and the others originally wanted to entertain Tang Ao, but when they arrived at the back of the mountain, they found out that Tang Ao had already left. When Tang Ao went to the ice plain to investigate, Tang Ao saw that the entire ice plain seemed to be frozen. Although it was a little unbelievable, Tang Ao was sure that this wasn't a change in the ice plane. Instead, a top-notch expert had made a move and used a supreme technique to freeze the entire ice plane. Tang Ao didn't know who did this, but Tang Ao wouldn't give up on investigating this matter. In Tang Ao's hand was a block of ice wrapped in spiritual power. There was a subtle fluctuation of spiritual power coming from this block of ice. Although it was just a trace, Tang Ao could still sense the strength of the owner of the spiritual power. This piece of ice was Tang Ao's only clue about what had happened on the ice plane. Very soon, Tang Ao returned to the Seven Kills sect. The current Seven Kills sect could be said to be thriving with each passing day. The 4 markets at the foot of the Seven Kills sect were also incomparably prosperous. Moreover, there was a constant flow of martial artists and merchants from all directions. The markets were still expanding. Although the Seven Kills sect's disciple recruitment had ended, there were still many people who wanted to join the Seven Kills sect every day. However, under Tang Ao's management, even if one wanted to become a servant disciple, they would have to pass through the first of the 10 major array formations. Apart from the Seven Kills sect's disciple recruitment, Even if Jiang Zhulu and the others had the ability to activate the 10 major array formations, they wouldn't do so easily. After Tang Ao returned to the Seven Kills sect, his days became more leisurely. Occasionally, he would guide some of the Seven Kills sect's disciples in their cultivation. From time to time, he would impart some alchemy Dao to the legacy disciple, Han Yunyun. Time passed quickly, and another year had passed. A rare snowstorm fell on the Seven Kills sect's mountain. Tang Ao stood in the main hall of the Seven Kills sect and looked at the falling snowflakes. His heart was calm. Ever since he started cultivating, he had been constantly fighting and killing. Now, Tang Ao finally enjoyed a rare moment of peace. Chapter 2179. Dong Xinyi, you haven't made any progress in the past year? Seeing Dong Xinyi walk over, Tang Ao immediately teased him. In the past year, Tang Ao had cultivated from the first astral reaching realm to the peak of the first level. However, Dong Xinyi's cultivation base at the early stage of the second level did not change at all. Not only Dong Xinyi, even the Blood Demon Ancestor's cultivation base did not increase at all. It is said that 10,000 years ago, the natural rules of the Black-Yellow Continent could allow martial artists to cultivate to the 9th level of the astral reaching realm. But now, the natural rules of the Black-Yellow Continent have collapsed too much. Cultivating to the 2nd level of the astral reaching realm is already very slow. Although it is not the limit yet, the Black-Yellow Continent is clearly not suitable for us to cultivate anymore. Dong Xinyi did not pay attention to Tang Ao and said very calmly. Tang Ao shook his head inwardly. This Dong Xinyi was good in every aspect, but his mind was only focused on cultivation. It was too boring. However, Tang Ao also understood the problem that Dong Xinyi mentioned. In his previous life, Tang Ao had cultivated to the 9th level of the astral reaching realm in the Black-Yellow Continent. Therefore, now that his cultivation speed had slowed down, Tang Ao could feel it the most clearly. It's about time to leave. Tang Ao looked at the disciples on the Seven Kills sect's teaching field and was lost in thought. Looking at these energetic disciples, Tang Ao felt a sense of vicissitudes. However, the amount of time Tang Ao spent cultivating in this life was less than half of what he had spent in his previous life. It was just that in his previous life, Tang Ao was all alone and had nothing to worry about. Naturally, he did not have many feelings during cultivation. However, in this life, he had experienced too many things. Even Tang Ao felt a sense of exhaustion. Shaking his head, Tang Ao dispelled this feeling. Right now, he and Dong Xinyi were already the top experts in the Black-Yellow Continent. However, Tang Ao knew that with their current strength, they were only halfway through the martial path. They were still far from the end. However, the current Black-Yellow Continent was clearly not suitable for them to cultivate anymore. Fortunately, the Seven Kills sect had a space formation that led directly to the true martial realm. Moreover, 1 year ago, Tang Ao and Dong Xinyi had both tried to leave with this formation. Now, Jing Wusheng, Kasahara Snow, and Jiang Zhulu had all cultivated to the 1st level of the astral reaching realm. So, Tang Ao and Dong Xinyi could leave without worries. In the Seven Kills sect's meeting hall, all the elders of the Seven Kills sect had gathered. In the meeting hall, the sect, a disciple, and a disciple one, and a sect, and Xiankil. Seeing that everyone had arrived, Tang Ao gestured for everyone to sit down, then said, Astral reaching realm is not the end of the martial arts. I have already told you this before. Heaven and earth rules of the continent is Xianyang continent, that we Tian Xian continent, where that we are, where we Black Xianyang continent reached. Xian, everyone, longed to the cultivation. Hearing Tang Ao's words, although everyone had not reached that level yet, they all nodded. As their cultivation continued to increase, especially after reaching the astral reaching realm, Kasahara Snow, and the others also discovered that their cultivation speed had slowed down. It did not seem to be because of their martial talent, but their cultivation speed had still slowed down. After hearing Tang Ao's words, everyone understood that the reason for their slow cultivation speed was due to the incomplete natural rules of the black-yellow continent. Chapter 2180. In order to deal with this kind of martial shackles, the founder of our seven-kill sect left behind a space formation that leads to the true martial realm on the island. As long as one cultivates to the fourth level of the seven-kill divine Tao, he will be able to open this formation. Right now, Senior Brother Dongswini and I have already decided to go to the true martial realm to take a look. Tang Ao didn't continue after saying this. Senior Brother Tang Ao, you and Senior Brother Dongswini are going to leave? The one who asked the question was Jiang Zhulu. Right now, Tang Ao and Dongxian Yi were the two pillars of the Seven Kills sect. As long as the two of them were around, none of the surrounding sects would dare to have any thoughts about the Seven Kills sect. Although the current Seven Kill sect was no longer the same as before, Tang Ao and Dongswini leaving together would still have a lot of impact on the sect. Originally, according to Tang Ao's plan, Tang Ao was going to leave together with Dongswini and the Blood Demon Ancestor. However, after pondering for a while, Tang Ao said, "How about this? Senior Brother Dongswini will leave the black-yellow continent through the space formation. After half a year, if there is nothing, I will leave. Then, after half a year, if there is nothing, Elder Jiang Yuan will leave. What do you think?" Hearing Tang Ao's words, everyone nodded. In this way, the Seven Kill sect would have another year of buffer time. After this year, the Seven Kill sect would certainly have more astral-reaching experts. In this way, after Tang Ao and the other two left, the Seven Kill sect would still be the most powerful sect in the black-yellow continent. However, Tang Ao felt that because of Reverend Zichun, even if the three left now, it wouldn't be a big deal. It was just that after experiencing the seven great forces besieging the Seven Kill sect, everyone in the Seven Kill sect had become much more cautious. Thinking of this, Tang Ao suddenly had a thought. After cultivating to the second level of the astral reaching realm, continuing to cultivate in the black-yellow continent had become extremely slow. Tang Ao planned to modify the space formation on the island so that as long as one cultivated to the second level of the astral reaching realm, they would be able to leave. After all, they would have to cultivate to the fourth level of the Seven Kill sect. Second-level astral-reaching realm warriors like Reverend Zichun and the Blood Demon Ancestor had never cultivated the Seven Kill sect. Therefore, who knew how long it would take for them to reach the fourth level of the Seven Kill sect? After deciding that Dongxian Yi would be the first to leave, everyone discussed the future affairs of the Seven Kills sect. The discussion ended very quickly, and everyone arrived at the lake island in the back mountain of the Seven Kills sect. At the island of the lake, of the island, of the formation. The tang to with, a sect, with a, of Lili's sect. To with kill, with ling, with the black with the Dongxian sect, with still with kill, with sect of sect. As he finished speaking, 36 night pearls appear behind him. Strands of spirit power connected the pearls to each other, and Dongswini instantly displayed the fifth level of the Seven Kill sect. Immediately after, the formation beneath him suddenly shook, and one after another, the extinguished symbols in the formation lit up. A moment later, a beam of light shot into the sky. Chapter 2181. Buzz. As the surrounding spiritual energy vibrated, the seawater around the island rose hundreds of feet into the air. Dongfang Xuanye's figure disappeared from the spatial formation as well. Only after his disappearance did the pillar of light that seemed to connect the heavens and the earth slowly dissipate. Many true disciples watched the scene with surging emotions, secretly swearing to themselves that one day they too would be like this. They stepped into the spatial formation and headed for a wider world. This pillar of 7 kills sect that soared into the sky could be seen by anyone in the vicinity. Many experts seem to have understood something when they sensed the rippling power of space around the pillar of light. After Dongfang Xuanya left, Tang Ao began to study the formation on the island in the center of the lake. This formation was the same as the 3 formations of the Luo family, a 4th-grade immortal formation. With Tang Ao's current skills, it was impossible for him to set up a formation of this level. However, Tang Ao did not need to set up such a formation now. Tang Ao only needed to change the activation condition of the formation. It was just that it was not that easy to change the activation condition of the formation. Tang Ao sat on the island in the center of the lake for a month, but Tang Ao realized that he did not know where to start. Tang Ao immediately took out Yun Xiaoyao's formation Jade Slip and began to study the spatial formation. Tang Ao had inherited Yun Xiaoyao's formation skills for a long time, but Tang Ao had never taken the time to study it. Most of the time, Tang Ao studied alchemy and smithing instead. This time, Tang Ao had also gained a deeper understanding of the formation after he immersed himself in studying it. Moreover, because the 9 Dragons Emperor's Jade Body was compatible with the workings of heaven and earth, Tang Ao's study of the formation improved rapidly. 3 months later, Tang Ao felt that he was on the verge of becoming a 2nd-grade Immortal Array Master. However, Tang Ao had no intention of breaking through to become a 2nd-grade Immortal Array Master. Instead, he began to study the spatial transportation formation on the island in the center of the lake. Now, this once obscure formation was clear in front of Tang Ao. Tang Ao even had an illusion that, given enough time, Tang Ao would be able to replicate such an array formation after he dissected it to the finest detail. Of course, it was hard to say whether the replicated formation could be used or not. Another 2 months passed, and Tang Ao had thoroughly understood this space array formation. By now, half a year had passed. In this half a year, Tang Ao's cultivation did not improve much, but Tang Ao's array Dao level was growing rapidly. Tang Ao took out a crafting furnace and began refining array flags. Although Tang Ao could directly erase the original runes and modify the runes on the formation, it was impossible for him to do so. To be on the safe side, Tang Ao prepared to make additional modifications to the formation using array flags. Tang Ao refined the array flags very quickly. Piece by piece, Tang Ao threw the materials into the crafting furnace, and soon, the embryonic form of the array flags appeared in the furnace. Immediately, Tang Ao's powerful psyche surged out and began to inscribe mysterious runes on these array flags. A moment later, 108 array flags appeared in Tang Ao's hands. These array flags were all 1st-grade array flags. Although they were of a much lower grade than the spatial formation, they were sufficient to change the conditions for activating the formation. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.